What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live watch along today. Final game for Arsenal in the Dubai Super Cup as they go head to head with Italian champions and giants AC Milan over there in Dubai. And looking forward to this game. And don't forget as well, people, we will be back tonight at 6:45 with Argentina against Croatia as well. So double watch along today. Hope everyone is safe and well. And a few changes to the Arsenal lineup today from the game the other day against Lyon. Obviously, players are sort of coming back from the World Cup at different times. So a few players back. And a few apparently are there at the ground, but are not actually going to feature today. So good to see a few of the players back. And obviously, a few more on their way with England being knocked out the other day as well. Hope everyone is well in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Always good to see the Arsenal back. I can't lie. As much as I've enjoyed the World Cup, I'm much happier watching Arsenal play. I can't lie. If we win, we claim the Super Cup. I mean, it might not be the Europa League winners against the Champions League winners, but we'll take it shamelessly, you know. I won't be celebrating it loud. But listen, it's always good any competition you enter to win it. That's just the reality of the situation. Anything you're in, you want to win. And I'm looking more for the fact that it's going to improve the confidence of players like, you know, Fabio Vieira, like Reece Nelson, like Sambi Lokonga, like Rob Holding. Players that have been struggling or haven't quite reached their heights. This is gonna help them. Just raise the armpits. That's what I said. I want to see Odegaard showing armpits at the end of the Prem season. But we'll take it today anyway. It's still a confidence boost. Seen you rapping on AFTV, C Unit Business. You know what it is, people. You know how it goes. Dubai Super Cup bigger than the Audi Cup, that is for sure. Let's talk about the Arsenal team. Talk about the Milan team. Couple of bits and bobs to go through and kick off in about 20 minutes time. Arsenal team, 2 changes from the team that beat Lyon the other day. Thomas Partey returns to the Arsenal lineup. Obviously, he's been away at the World Cup with Ghana, but they were knocked out in the group stage, so hasn't overexerted himself, shall we say. So great to see Thomas Partey back. Obviously, always quite nervous to watch him play, because you're just like, please, especially with Gabriel Jesus being injured, this is the one player that I just believe under all circumstances we cannot afford to lose. So Thomas Partey returns. The other one is Benjamin White, as he wants to be called. Benny Blanco himself couldn't get a kick for England. Personal reasons, as they was calling it. We don't know the full truth, so obviously we're not going to delve into that too much. Who cares anyway? England are out, so what does it matter? And he's back in the Arsenal lineup at right back. So Cedric drops out of the team and Mohamed El Neni drops out of the team as well. So the same sort of side as the other day, really. Big up Broads in the chat who said, big up yourself, Big C, big up the community. We're live and direct for the Olivier Giroud and Flamini derby. Yeah, man, the AC Milan Arsenal link-up, man. Curtis dropped a verse. Yeah, man, dropped a little verse on there, man. It wasn't my lyrics, so I can't lie. A little Snoop Dogg verse. No Zinchenko again, people. Zinchenko not even on the bench, but apparently is training outside with the team now. Whereas the first few days of the tour, he was only doing gym work. So there is a hope he could possibly be available for West Ham next week on Boxing Day. So that's the main thing, really. But no Zinchenko. Why is Partey playing, says Kai. Listen, he's going to need to stay fit. And you know, we can't hide him, can we? So Hein in goalie had an absolute stormer the other day. Massive confidence boost for him. Ben White at right back. Rob Holding and Gabriel continue at centre-back. Kieran Tierney at left-back. Midfield of Thomas Partey and Sambi Lokonga. Lokonga needs to play well again. Nelson and Vieira play out wide. I thought both of them played well the other day. Vieira scored a fantastic goal. Probably man of the match for me, really. Odegaard in the 10. As I said, I thought Odegaard had a good game as well. Captain, of course. And then Eddie and Nketiah through the middle. Scored a goal the other day. And as I've said many times, do I think he's the answer? No. But while he is the answer, all we can do is support him and hope that he can continue to hit the back of the net. So Eddie plays through the middle. No Emil Smith-Rowe on the bench again. He has been training outside, although the manager did say in the press conference that he was still a couple of weeks away, which I was quite disappointed. It doesn't sound like we're going to see Smith-Rowe for the first game back against West Ham, which is disappointing. He's been out for a long time, but of course they're going to have to wait. Carlito, Benny Blanco from the Bronx. Hey, Carlito's Way, one of my favourite movies, man. I can't lie. Let's see what you're saying in the comments. Do you remember Fabregas' long-range goal? Can't forget it. Absolute belter at the San Siro, long-range, bottom corner. Heinz Beans again today. Big up Cole Hine, who had a great game in the last game. Fabio Vieira's on the right, according the way I've seen it. It says Fabio Vieira on the right, Nelson on the left, which is what they did the other day against Leon. Broad said, quick question. Do we go and buy Amrabat? I swear he used to play right back. He is apparently Liverpool and Tottenham are in advanced talks with him already, so we may have missed out on any opportunity of signing him. But he's looked fantastic in this World Cup. I can't even lie, people. Eddie doesn't need to prove himself. He's ish. I mean, listen, man. I'm trying to be nice to the guy, man, and you're just coming in with the smoke, you know. And Ross, that's a disgraceful comment. Don't ever compare me to him. He's called me Eddie Shaw. I won't accept it under any circumstances. But listen, that's all we got, people. It's all we got. Beans on toast for dinner. You know when your mum told you it was beans on toast for dinner back in the day? It was difficult. It was, it was just fill your belly, but there was no enjoyment. Eddie Nketiah, he's like a beans on toast striker, I would say. But hey, we'll see. Maybe it'll do the job for us until we can bring someone else back in. Raul said, bro, Ten Hag compared Rashford to Mbappe. Please, you need to roast Ten Hag. I agree with... Nah, I'm joking. I'm joking, people. Listen, I am a fan of Rashford. You know, I've said many times I would take Rashford. But we certainly ain't comparing him. We ain't comparing him to Mbappe under any circumstances. But I saw a report that if PSG get Rashford on a free, they're going to offer him £800,000 a week. I actually thought it was made up, but there's an actual story there saying that, which is unbelievable. They're asking me to pronounce the AC Milan team, so let me go nice and easy here. Tatu Rasanu in goal, Kalulu, Gabia, Tamore, Pobega, Vrank, Saili, Tonali, Adli, Rebic, and Origi. I think I've done all right there. Again, no Theo Hernandez. He's with the French squad. Mike Mainan, is it? The goalkeeper, he's injured. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is injured. Rafael Leao's at the World Cup. Olivier Giroud's at the World Cup. Benacer is not playing. I'm not sure if he's on the bench. So, look, more than half of their first team is not there. So, in fairness... but then a lot of our team is still not there. Still got no Ramsdale, no Saka, no Martinelli, no Jesus, no Granit Xhaka. So, we can have the same excuse if things go wrong. Oh, half our first team weren't playing. Damn, beans on toast striker, the disrespect. Hey, listen, beans on toast, solid meal when times were hard, man, I'm telling you. Divock Origi up front. Ball whipped in, Origi! Listen, I said many times last season that I would have taken Origi as a backup striker at Arsenal. Not to be the starting striker, of course, but to have effectively become the role that Eddie is in. Eddie would have been third striker, Jesus number one. AC Milan signed him on a free. I think it's a smart piece of business, And this is what I'm saying, people. Look at AC Milan's free strikers. They've got Olivier Giroud, they've got Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and they've got Origi. And worst case, they could play Rafael Leao through the middle. And these are levels you need to be at. You need 2 or 3 really good strikers nowadays. I did want to see Bonazza play because obviously former Arsenal player and he's been linked with Arsenal a few times. People, the game is live on the Arsenal website, but I can see a few of you asking for streams because I know in certain countries, for some stupid reason, the Arsenal website won't show the game. If anybody's got a stream, throw it in the comments. People looking for it, obviously keep an eye on the comments and find yourself a stream. Zlatan hardly plays. Listen, he's nearly 40. He's got a big injury. I think he is there, though. He's in the stadium. I've seen a few famous faces on the screen. Zlatan's there, of course. Santi Cazorla's there. It's his birthday. Bakary Sagna is there. Sol Campbell is there as well. So a number of former players and current players still there. Dylan Brad, thank you for the super chat. He said, it's my birthday today and marks 1 year since I subbed. Thank you to Big C and the community for the laughs, the highs and the lows. Best community on YouTube. Let's win the league. Big up yourself, Dylan. Happy birthday to you. Appreciate your support and thank you for your super chat. Let's hope Arsenal don't ruin it, of course, but big up yourself. Broad said, did you see Edgar Davids? After the Argentina game, he said Messi reminded him of the days at Barnet. Played against the guy who reminded him of Messi, says the lad does YouTube now. I see Messi doing that to Davids. I said, boy, I only tapped him on the back of the dreads, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Yeah, man, happy birthday, Dylan, man. It's not free on the Arsenal website. They're asking for $5.99, I believe, if... is that if you're not a member? I'm not sure. But it's a rip-off. It is a rip-off. As you know, our Arsenal get down. So I'm sure some of you have got streams that you can share with each other. And hopefully some of you can watch it. Haven't heard you speak about Car Park Neymar today. Listen, we did an in-depth transfer show yesterday. I spoke about him in great detail, stating how if we sign him, I will shamelessly celebrate the signing, and if we don't, I will pretend that he is what I thought he was, which was the Car Park Neymar. But if we sign him, I will shamelessly cap and say, you know, he's a world beater. So let's see. It sounds like there's a great chance. It was interesting today that Andy Brassel, who is a European football expert, was on Sky today, and he said that he expects Mudryk to be a Premier League player by the end of January, you know. So people think this deal's going to happen, but it's going to be down to money. You know, it's going to be down to money at the end of the day. If Arsenal are willing to pay what they want and can negotiate, then that will happen. A bit of Yuri Tielemans news. Fabrizio Romano stating he's been on Arsenal's list since the beginning of the season. He's appreciated, but Arsenal will probably wait until the summer to try and make a move for Tielemans. I mean, I actually don't disagree with that. I think Tielemans has been pretty poor for Leicester this season, terrible for Belgium. If you can get him on a free as a squad player, then maybe we'll take Yuri, but 20, 30 million, the way he's performing, his lack of mobility. At the end of the day, Xhaka and Partey is the more injury-prone player. You can't turn up with a midfield of Tielemans and Xhaka. They genuinely can't run. So, yeah, that for me is probably not the smartest of deals to be going for. I think we need a more mobile midfielder if we're going to get one in January. But Tielemans at the end of the season on a free wouldn't be the end of the world. You know, wouldn't be the end of the world. Interesting that apparently Portugal have offered... Portugal have offered Jose Mourinho the Portugal job, but he doesn't actually have to leave his job as Roma manager. Saw somebody saying yesterday England should offer the job to Pep Guardiola alongside being Manchester City manager. But Ahmed said, Big C, we should sign Curtis Shaw for 6 months. He would help us win the league in Europa. If only, bro. If only. Clement says, big up Big C. 13 days left before the Arsenal is back in the Premier League against West Ham on Boxing Day. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. Let me show you the Arsenal bench. It's not glamorous, but let's big up the youngsters. I'm always very supportive of the young players. You know, they're making their way, trying to, you know, find their way into the game. So hopefully they get an opportunity. Where is the bench? Let's get the bench up. Cedric drops down to the bench. Why is this not letting me share screen for some reason? It doesn't want me to show you the bench, people. I will get it back up. Bernazza, I believe, is not even on the bench for AC Milan, which is a shame because I did want to see him play. Right, there we go. So here's the bench. I thought Matt Turner might be on the bench. Interesting, people. Matt Turner and Granit Xhaka are there. Matt Turner and Granit Xhaka are there, but are not on the bench. From reports that I've read, I'm not sure how true it is, but apparently Ramsdale and Saka are in Dubai as well. I think what has happened here is Arteta's basically said to players, come to Dubai, have your holiday in Dubai so you're here, and then join back up with us when we finish. So apparently Saka, Ramsdale and Tomiyasu are all in Dubai but won't feature. And Xhaka and Matt Turner are there in the stadium, but are not going to feature, of course. So the benches are Grasic, Foran, Cedric, Souza, Walters, El Neni, Serjan, Smith, Lewis Skelly, Waneri, Cozier, Dubry, Sago Jr., Marquinhos, and Butler Oyedeji. Cedric, El Neni, and Marquinhos are the three what you would consider first-team players to be available on the bench. Marcel said Enzo Fernandez coming to Liverpool. I mean, listen, I saw today that Liverpool are in advanced talks to sign Enzo Fernandez, a player that I would love Arsenal to sign. Now, if Liverpool sign Enzo Fernandez and they get Jude Bellingham, I don't know what the hell's going off over there. That's outrageous. Enzo Fernandez is a player I would like to see Arsenal in the race for. I think he's a top player. And he's had a very good World Cup since he's come in. So, yeah, man, let's see with that one. Liverpool definitely looking to strengthen that midfield. Bad said, Souza, what is this Chief Keef O-block settings? It's mad. We don't know a lot of these young bucks, but let me support them anyway, man. Enzo and Jude, Klopp is cooking. I said before, man, if that takeover at Liverpool happens, you give Klopp an open checkbook, it's a problem. Bob JS said, hi, Courtesy. I'm in hospital. Your streams are cheering me up. I'm having scans on my head after I got hit on the head in my garden with the ball from Kane's missed penalty. Oh, my days. Listen, if that penalty hit anyone on the head, it would cause a lot of pain. But big up, Bob, man. Where is our war chest? Well, we've been waiting for the war chest for about 20 years. Every season we hear about the war chest from John Cross. Martinelli's on vacation. Nah. It's about, we can't be saying that about Partey. We need Partey fit and well, man. Stadium looks better like the last one, but a bit better. I would hope that we would have more fans over there now, especially with England out the World Cup. If any Arsenal fans were in Qatar, you might have thought they might have gone over to Dubai and gone and watched Arsenal. I know tickets are very easily accessible over there. Quite empty like the last one. Okay, fair enough. Do you think releasing Omar Hutchinson was a mistake? I mean, he's on tour with the Chelsea first team at the moment. From what I hear, Omar rejected the Arsenal contract. I don't think Arsenal actually released him. From what I hear, he turned it down. Chelsea are known for paying huge money for young players in terms of wages. I think they pay more to their under-23 players than any other team in the Premier League. So from what I hear, Omar was offered a considerable pay rise to go to Chelsea. So yeah, they obviously tapped him up, but it seems like he's doing well. So he got that pay rise. He chose money. It'd be interesting if he gets first team opportunities at Chelsea. He will turn around and say he made the right decision. But if he don't, then you could say he made a mistake. He should have stayed at Arsenal because he would have probably got game time. We're 6 minutes until kickoff, people. As I said, anybody who's got a stream, share it in the chat. There are a number of people looking. It is on the website for anybody in the UK and a few other countries. Anthony said, and he's a Chelsea fan too. There you go. And Chris, you're right. We didn't really give him many first-team opportunities, so you can't really complain. They're actually showing the highlights now of that game where Fabregas scored that long-range belter against AC Milan in the San Siro. Sambi said, I'm ready to dominate. Yeah, but let's hope so. Amari played for them against Villa and was very soft, not ready for the first team. That's interesting. Yasser, hope you're well. Hope the family's well. Thanks for tuning in, as always. Patrick said, with Odegaard and Vieira ahead of him, he couldn't be guaranteed any first-team football. He had no choice but to leave. Yeah, listen. He obviously felt like it wasn't going to happen for him. Hal B said, Big C, how come players are returning to the club after a week break? That's so short. Do you know what it is, Hal Beast? I think with a regular World Cup in the summer, players would have been given, of course, 3-4 weeks off. But because it's mid-season, effectively they're playing at a time when they would have been playing Premier League fixtures anyway. So I think really the players need, I would say personally, give them 4 or 5 days off. To maybe fly wherever they want to fly, be with their families, 5 days, 6 days maybe off. And I think they should be back in training, really. You know, they would have been playing games and they've been in the heat as well, which I'm sure is a lot easier than the conditions they would have had in England. It's snowing in England at the moment. So quick turnaround, man. No Matt Turner, which I don't understand really. But again, maybe they've just gone to Dubai for a holiday and to be around the squad. I think some of the players are actually just there to be around the team, but a holiday in there rather than actually training. Big up Mick Hughes said, just received his visa permission to work in the UK, 3 more years in this beautiful country. Big up, man, big up. Make the most of it, bro. Enjoy. If you look at the game, Saka has actually played less games for England than he would have played for us if it was a normal season. The rest thing is talked about too much. Yeah, listen, they'll bear in mind travelling and stuff like that, but you look at Qatar, I think they said all of the stadiums were within like 30 miles of each other. So, yeah, you're right. He would have been playing probably Saturday, Thursday, Sunday, you know, if he was playing for Arsenal. So, yeah, I think you're right. I don't think they need that much rest. A lot of Arsenal's players, if you look at it, Partey was knocked out in the group. Xhaka just after the group, and so was Turner just after. Martinelli wasn't starting for Brazil. Jesus got injured, unfortunately. Saliba's played for 20 minutes. Saka's played about 4 games. I think he was on the bench for 1. Ramsdale hasn't kicked a ball. Ben White hasn't kicked a ball. So a lot of these guys, they should be ready to go straight away, man. A lot of them haven't really played that much. So, Shaquille said, bear in mind the players want to give their all to compete for the title. These guys mentally are different. Big C, I have to admit it. Well, we'll see second half of the season. Let's see if they're about that life, man. Why would anyone come here? It's cold. Listen, it's one of them. I always think when you're from a country, sometimes you don't fully appreciate it. You know, things that are good about the country. When you live there, you tend to look at the worst of it. So, yeah, listen, it is what it is. Let me not say too much. Heinz needs to catch up. Listen, we're kicking off in 2 minutes, people. After the break, we are kicking off. The teams are coming out of the tunnel now. Big up Jake, who said, morning, Curtis. Freezing cold here too. Hope you are well. There we go. People putting live streams in there. UK has so much opportunity and free healthcare, which something I've realised when you travel around the world and people have to spend thousands of pounds on healthcare and insurance. You know, definitely one of the better things about the UK is the free healthcare. Haroon said, for almost all of us in the developing world, moving to a developed country is a dream. There you go. Although Usman said, Big C said he's from Pakistan, came here 3 months ago, can't wait to go back. It's too cold. Listen, the weather is definitely one of the worst things about the UK. That is for sure. You've seen the teams. Start to throw in your score predictions, people. I'm going to go for an Arsenal win. I've got to be honest, I don't know probably half of that AC Milan team. I know that obviously a lot of their players are still at the World Cup. Leao, Giroud, they've got no Benazza, no Zlatan Ibrahimovic, no Theo Hernandez as well. So a lot of their players are out at the moment. I'm going to go for an Arsenal I'm going to go for Ben White's back. You know what? I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal. I'm going to go 2-0 to the Gunners. Clean sheet business. I'm going to go 2-0. Olympiacos Gate 7. Big up, man. Yeah, I did a show with them guys when we played Olympiacos. Good preview show. What's the coldest it's been in the UK? I mean, it's been pretty cold this week. I think -5, -4. That's, I know, yeah, it's been real cold here. I disagree, Curtis. They got a decent team out there. Would expect a tough match. But then I felt like Lyon had a really decent team out and we beat them. But then Lyon went and beat Liverpool, which was crazy. So maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm sticking by it. I'm going for 2-0 to the Gunners. Mickey said, I moved from America. The UK has things we don't have, like healthcare. Yeah, and obviously a lot less gun crime for sure. 1-1, AC Milan are better, says Ahmed. Zlatan will score today. It's going to be a tough job. I don't think he's in the squad, so it's going to be difficult for Zlatan to score. That is for sure. Unless he's on the bench. I'm not sure if he is on the bench, but I'm pretty sure it said Zlatan wasn't in the squad for today. AC Milan playing in this army-looking kit. Believe in Eddie, Big C. I've got no choice, really, have I? Anthony said, up in Aberdeen, Scotland, it dropped to -12. We're underway, people. We are underway. Arsenal against AC Milan. The timer's decided to move again. Thank you very much. Let's get you moved over here. And the prestigious Dubai Super Cup. Arsenal will win it if they win this game today. And listen, like I said, I'm not gonna do a Spursy and start celebrating some mid-season, pre-season tournament. I'm more looking at the psychological advantages of winning any tournament. You know, it's always important. So we'll have to see. Brad said, Big C, I lived in Alaska for a year after I came from Dominica. I cried every day there. Too much ice here, too much cold. But let's see, people. Let's see. Game is underway. And Arsenal in the home kit today. Moir said, I wonder when Edu and Arteta will pay attention to a player that should be considered and probably very much needed as Marcus Thuram. He fits perfectly to our process. A lot of people, screaming out Marcus Thuram. I haven't been overly impressed with him in the World Cup, but he does have a good record at club level and he could be available for cheap. So, it's interesting. Sean said, Big C, I'm from Jamaica. I wouldn't exchange it for anywhere, especially England. Too cold, eh? Big up, man. Each to their own. The weather in Jamaica, of course, is far better. Hollywood said, watching from the USA. Appreciate you tuning in. Arsenal won the Florida Cup and the Emirates Cup. It's time for the treble, said Power Punch Bros. Listen, I'll take it. I will take it. I don't mind. I want Arsenal to win games of football. Everything else we deal with after. And listen, winning boosts confidence. My cousin lives near North Dakota, frozen 6 months out of the year. Ball over the top goes out. This AC Milan kit looking like some army kit that they've got on. Spud said, howdy, Mr. Shaw, hope you're well, brother. Is it likely for us to get Felix or Mudryk? I personally think Arsenal could sign any of them if they pay the money. João Felix apparently wants to come to the Prem. It's just a case of how much he'll cost. But I think Mudryk is more likely. Corner to Arsenal. Reece Nelson whips it in swing or headed away at the near post. And Milan clear it out. West Ham will be a difficult game, 100%. Majority of their squad is back from the World Cup. And a lot of them didn't even go to the World Cup. So you always have this worry of how is the World Cup how's it going to affect it? The good thing about Arsenal now, you look at the World Cup, Saliba's the only player left at the World Cup. He's played 20 minutes in this whole tournament. So even with Saliba, the World Cup final's on Sunday, and we play the following Sunday. No, we play the following Monday. So there's 8 days between the World Cup final and the next Premier League game. For a guy that's played 20 minutes, give him 4 or 5 days off. And for me, Saliba should be available for that West Ham game. Every other player will be back by West Ham, outside of Gabby Jesus, of course. And we've only got 2 games until the transfer window opens. Sambi Lokonga does well there. Wins a free kick to Arsenal on the left-hand side. And Gibbs, got to check your email. I will check today, bro. Appreciate it if you've sent me an email. Marcus Thuram is another Danny Welbeck. He didn't impress me. Doesn't look technically great. Felix will really set us levels above the Spuds. Joao Felix being passed to Newcastle. Arsenal don't want that. Sambi Shaw masterclass. A lot of people sharing the stream in the chat. Free kick whipped in, headed away again. Comes out to Odegaard. Shots blocked. And goes out for another corner to Arsenal. Like I said yesterday, I'm a little bit on the fence with Joao Felix. I think he's a baller. I've always liked him. But for the kind of money they want, and I'm just not sure where you play him in the Arsenal team. Yeah, you're going to play him up front while Jesus is out. But I think Jesus a better striker than Joao Felix. I don't think Joao Felix is an out-and-out striker. He's also a little bit lightweight. And he's on 250k a week. So if you drop 70, 80 million on Joao Felix, 250 a week, where do you play him? Do you play him up front? Do you play him in the 10? It ain't my money. It's not my money. So if they sign him, I'll shamelessly celebrate that deal. I'm just not sure where you play him in the Arsenal team. That would be my question. El Marlo saying, I still say offer CR7 a 6-month deal at 350 with a guaranteed year if we get Champions League. Well, we've spoken quite in depth about CR7. The fan base aren't on it. Divock Origi whips it in, cleared away. Good defending there. And Arsenal managed to get rid of it. Bring in Mudryk, simple, says Khalid. Kurt, I think Felix is a generational talent. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he is. I haven't seen a lot from him for a while, really. But I liked him a lot when he was at Benfica. Hey, Kurt, it's read today morning about a possible takeover. I haven't read that. I'll have a look at that. Let's see what the Kroenkes do in January, man, because I think the fans will turn on them if they don't back the manager. Free kick to AC Milan, right-hand side, cross-in situation. Make sure you like the video, people. 1,300 of you in here already. 28 on Twitch. Free kick whipped in, headed away, and Arsenal clear it away, although not too far. Milan win the ball back. Tonali, a player that we were actually linked with in the summer. Be interesting to see how he does. Jesus is irreplaceable based on Arteta's tactics. Do you like Arteta's tactics now, Kurt? Hard to watch sometimes, too mechanical. It's very Pep Guardiola based. The one thing sometimes I would say, the one flaw at times with Pep Guardiola's style of football, I think it, as Eddie wins a free kick there, I think Pep's style of football sometimes holds back individual talent at certain times. It's very constructed to play a certain way. I think individual brilliance seems to shine more under Jurgen Klopp's kind of system than it does under Pep. So I think that's why often you look at Arsenal, strikers have struggled under Mikel Arteta in that system. You know, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Eddie, you know, a lot of these players haven't really thrived. The role of the striker's probably a little bit different at Arsenal than a regular striker. So, listen, I think Arteta's improved massively, and I've enjoyed the football this season. But I would still like to see Gabby Jesus at times restricting the amount of running that he does, and sometimes play the width for the 18-yard box a little bit more. If I was cherry picking at things, you know. Mickey said, AC, does it make you wonder why all the American owners are suddenly selling up? Is there something big coming? I think with a lot of these owners, they were holding on to the club for the Super League. Super League was the golden ticket for every owner. 300 million to go in the Super League. It's a closed league that you can't come out of. I think they were all waiting for the Super League. And now the Super League's gone. They're thinking, well, you know, we're in a global pandemic. This isn't really my main priority, FSG with Liverpool or the Glazers with Man United. They've got other sports companies in America. And people are thinking it's time to sell. These clubs are worth billions. They know now that Manchester City's dominance is going to cost a lot of money to get there. To overtake Manchester City, unless you hit the jackpot with your signings, you're going to have to spend a fortune to outdo them. And I think that's where the balance of it is. I think if you're the Glazers, you're thinking they need a new training ground. They need major investment into the team. The stadium roof's leaking. Man City are miles ahead of them. The fans don't like them. We're in a pandemic. It's a great time to sell, and they'll make loads of profit from what they paid for it. So I can see it, and it'll be interesting if the Kroenkes follow suit and they decide to sell Arsenal, We'll see. They don't care about the badge, said Eros. They're here for money, man. They're businessmen, Sounds like you are finally trusting the process, says Jason. Listen, I'm still skeptical. I'm going to be totally honest. I'm enjoying what's happening this season. If we're in such a positive situation, I can't be negative about the manager. But I'm not gonna lie, I've still got question marks about it. Until I see the end result, then I'll say, cool, I trust it. I don't fully trust it yet. I've seen teams top of the league and still capitulate. So, we'll see. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful, Jason. Yardman said, or have a world-class coach who can make players immeasurably better. Yeah, I think Klopp has done that for Liverpool for a long time. Got the best out of players, Hendersons and Milners and, players that are not world beaters that have done really well for him. Good tackle there by Rob Holding, although Origi is down holding his leg on the halfway line. Musa, I think every Arsenal fan's got a little bit of PTSD, I can't lie. We've all been there. It's painful. But sounds like you're still doubting Arteta. No, listen, I'm one of these with Arteta. Listen, show us what you're about. Everyone's told me how good he is. Oh, great turn by Origi. Oh, hits the crossbar. Divock Origi there with a little Cruyff turn. Whew. I told you, Origi, man, I would have took him. You know what that reminded me of? The goal years ago that Makeda scored for Liverpool. Not a Liverpool, for Man United, sorry. Ball rolled into his feet, does a Cruyff turn, first time. He sent Rob Holding there to the beach, I'm telling you. Hits the top of the crossbar. I mean, it's actually further out than the Makeda one. Brilliant turn. And listen, I'm going to be honest, and I know we had a lot of conversation about this. I've always liked Origi. I think Origi could have had a big career at Liverpool. It's just purely the fact that he's a natural striker and Klopp wanted, a false nine. So because his two wingers were such big goal scorers in Mane and Salah, Klopp didn't need an out-and-out centre forward to play in the middle. He needed a link man between them. And Firmino was perfect at that. I think Origi, definitely a good goal scorer. Scored some massive goals for them as well. And I'm not surprised that AC Milan signed him. Shameless Curtis moment. Hey, man, we don't hide from it. But no, as people were saying with Arteta, I think he's improved massively, but I need to see the end product. He started this season brilliant. I still think it's dangerous for any Arsenal fan to think we've got top four. Top four's guaranteed, it's in the bag. We're only 11 points away from 5th place. 4 games and you're out. 4 bad games can happen in 1 month like that. Another injury, Thomas Partey, Saliba, anything like that, and we're in big trouble. But obviously, I'm still looking at it from a positive point of view. I still expect Arsenal to get top 4, and I would love to see Arsenal challenge for that title, but it will depend on what we do in the transfer window. Corner to Milan. Rich said Origi is Batshuayi 2.0. I think he's better. Batshuayi is terrible. I never rated that guy at all. Corner to Milan. Short corner. They've tried to work something here. Jeez. Cruyff turn was dangerous there. Ball comes to the edge. Scrambling around the area. Shot wide. Goes out for another corner. Milan starting to put a little bit of pressure on Arsenal now in this army camouflage kit that they've got. Smith Rowe will be like a new signing. Oh, let's get him back. Ross said, and it happened in January last year. Exactly. That's the thing, Last January, top 4 was in our hands and we did nothing. Tonali with another corner to Milan. In swinger. They've put us under pressure the last 5 minutes. And a poor clearance at the near post goes out for another corner to AC Milan. Big up everyone. A lot of people putting streams in the chat. If anyone's struggling, make sure you have a watch of the chat. Milan putting us under pressure. 13 minutes gone. We started off well first 5. They've been the better team last 5 or 6. Headed away again. Another corner to Milan. Holding flicks it away at the back post. 3 corners in quick succession for Milan here. Shaquille said, geez, that Origi turn on Holding and curling shot was mad. Yeah, dangerous, man. Sent Holding to the shops, that's for sure. Yasser said, thanks, Big C. The baby's good to the point where she can go home, but the nurse has to check up on her every day in the house. Great news, man. Big up, Yasser. Glad your daughter's improving, and I'm sure the community share those thoughts. Big up to you. Corner whipped in again, cleared away at the near post. Milan retained possession. Dangerous here, shot! Saved at the near post by Hein. Reasonably comfortable. Origi over and Nketiah, absolutely all day long, by the way. All day long, Don. 100%. Umboma said, back from work as a postie. Bloody cold out there. Good to see you. See, community big or A. Can't be easy times, man, to be a postman. Running around in this is proper cold as well, I can't lie. Yeah, man, great news. Big up Yasser, man. The Milan right winger looks dangerous. They've got a decent front line. Rebic is highly rated as well. Adley's rated. Great touch there by Nelson. Aye! Flicked it over Kalulu, but it goes out for a throw. I was about to get carried away there. Do you rate ESR? Yeah, ESR's good, man. Goal scoring midfielder. Thing with ESR with me is I still not sure what ESR's best position is. Got to be honest. When he plays left wing, I'm like, is he a winger? Is he a 10? Is he an 8? Still not totally convinced with ESR's position. But maybe he's just equally good in 2 or 3 positions. So he'll be massive for us when he comes back. I can't lie. Yeah, postmen in England are different, man. Shorts and everything, acting like it's the summertime. Would you take Benazza from Milan? It depends on the price. I like him, but they were asking for crazy money for him, like 50, 60 million. I'm not sure he's worth that much. But I do think he's a good player. Cold up north, says Gunnar 8. Yeah, it does get cold up north, that's for sure. Long ball by the Milan keeper. Arsenal win the ball back. Can we get a bit of possession? Odegaard finds Partey. Milan pressing us very quickly, giving us no time. We've played good football there. Just as I say that, Arsenal lose the ball. Sambi loses the ball. AC Milan on the attack. Chance. Shot high and wide there. Good first touch. The second touch wasn't great, and he skies it over the crossbar there. Arsenal were caught out a little bit there with Sambi. Don said driving a forklift in this weather, not the one, but family looking up to me. That's it, man, Don. Listen, when you got responsibilities, you know, sometimes you got to do stuff you don't really want to do, jobs and that you don't want, but it is what it is when people are relying on you, you know. Big up Buenos Aires, Guna. Bless up Curtis in the community. Glad to see all of us here for an Arsenal watch-along. Counting down the days to December the 26th. Come on, you Gunners. Looking forward to that West Ham at home. Don't forget this weekend, Saturday, Arsenal against Juventus from the Emirates. Should be a good game. Weston McKennie and Vlahovic and all of them, man, there. So, yeah, it'll be an interesting one. Tickets on general sale as well. So, anybody who doesn't normally get to watch Arsenal, very easy to get a ticket. I believe there's a train strike in the UK on Saturday. So, I think that's why they're struggling to sell tickets for the game. A lot of people who obviously don't drive are not going to be able to get there. So, loads of tickets available on the website. So we'll be doing a watch-along for that. GSB said, I'm heading to the Canary Islands this weekend for 5 days, 23 Celsius. Got to do what you got to do, man. I would love to be in the heat right now. I can't lie. Alcalde said, listening to you guys complaining about the weather while I'm nice. 22 degrees, realised how good I'm having it till the summer. I'm telling you, man. It's this weather is serious. It's freezing. Sort of working outside, serving food and drink. Big old Alvin. Yeah, we'll be Arsenal streaming the Juve match. Yeah, it's I think it's on the website again. They'll probably charge another £5 for that one, which is a joke. Line up against West Ham. I'd pick the same team that we've kept picking. I'd just play Eddie instead of Jesus. In an ideal world, I would have probably played Martinelli through the middle and Smith Rowe on the left, but by the sounds of it, Smith Rowe ain't going to be fit for West Ham. So you've got to play Eddie central, and the rest of the team picks itself, really. Zinchenko might not be fit, so you'd play Tierney at left back. Saka, Martinelli, Eddie, Odegaard, Xhaka, Partey, Saliba, Gabriel, Ben White, and whichever left back, whether that's Zinchenko or Tierney. Here come Arsenal. Eddie Nketiah wins a free kick. Very soft foul, that free kick, 25 yards out. Odegaard will take this. Suits the left footer. Smith Rowe still not in the squad. Arteta said he won't be back for another couple of weeks. So Nelson on the left, Martinelli middle. You could do that. You could do that. Nelson's looked all right. I wouldn't be against that. I forgot about that, to be honest. But you just know he's not going to do that. That's the problem. But yeah. Usman said, Big C, Arsenal should have gone for Bruno Gomes. Yeah, that was a massive mistake by Edu. In fact, I don't even know if the blame lies with Edu. Maybe the owners didn't give us the money. Who knows? 0 Celsius in London. It's grim. Free kick to Arsenal. Couple players over the ball. It's interesting now, our clubs, they put a wall next to the wall that the defensive team have got just to block the view of the goalkeeper. It'll be Martin Odegaard, 25 yards out, right of centre. He'll whip this over the wall. There's the free kick. It's 1-0 to Arsenal. 1-0 to Arsenal. Martin Odegaard with the goal. It must be sunny out there, people. Solarguard gives Arsenal the lead. Lovely free kick over the wall, dipping into the bottom corner. And Arsenal take the lead. The Dubai Super Cup title on its way back to the Emirates, people. Great free kick. It looked like the wall was very close. I thought, how is he going to get that up and down? That's a brilliant free kick. The goalkeeper's actually not far away from it. But he can't get there. Solarguard, brilliant finish. Great free kick. Sun shining. The weather is sweet, in the words of Bob Marley. So, great finish by Odegaard. And Arsenal take the lead. Just as Milan really have been putting us under pressure the past 7 or 8 minutes. So, it's come a bit against the run of play. Show us those home. Oh, hey! Dubai Super Cup, man. It's bigger than the Audi Cup, I'm telling you. We're claiming it. But hey, it is what it is, man. The treble incoming. The Emirates Cup, the Florida Cup, and the Dubai Super Cup, man. Odegaard has 6 Premier League goals, I think he's producing. How many goals has Odegaard got this year? I actually don't know. Which is interesting now you've said that. He must have a few. Odegaard goals. 6 Premier... Wow, do you know what? I need to start putting some respect on his name. 6 Premier League goals in 13 games. When you bear in mind that last season he got 7 in 36. This season he's got 6 in 13 and 2 assists. 8 goal contributions in 13 games. Is that a good summer, man? You know what is there? We're going into them winter months now. The sun's disappearing. Let's see how he gets on a cold winter night at Goodison Park and all that. But now, listen, if he can get, he should be getting double figures in the league easily. Top scorer. Right, I didn't even know that. Did not even know that. Oh, yeah, because Jesus on 5. He's been stuck on 5 for about 3 months. Ahmed said, Big C, we need another Hulk shirt moment probably when we get crowned champions. Listen, I told you, man, it's inflation right now. We can't be ripping shirts no more, I'm telling you. But I hear you. There'll be epic celebrations if we were to win the league. Milan on the attack. Oh, final ball. Picks out the wrong pass there. There's a bit of danger. And it's a free kick to Arsenal. Thomas Partey on the floor, which is never nice to see. But it looks all right. Oy, not a nice challenge on him there. That's a worrying one every time. Yeah, he's all right. He's up. GSB said in this system, Odegaard is expected to be getting more goals like Kevin De Bruyne and David Silva. Yeah, listen, I think Odegaard will get... I can see Odegaard getting... I think he could easily double that in the league. Get 12 goals. I think that's a fantastic season for a number 10. If he can get 5, 6 assists as well, that's an outstanding season, really. 10, 12 goals, 6, 7 assists. Here's Eddie Nketiah. That's got to be a free kick, ref. What? That's crazy. That's more of a free kick than the one he gave last time. Listen, I'm not going to cap. Half time, get Thomas Partey off. I can't watch no more of him getting tackled and being on the floor, man. An injury to him would be an absolute disaster. Sambi gets the ball out wide. Chance for Arsenal. Tierney pulls it back. Oh, could have found Odegaard there. There was a little deflection and they managed to clear it. Ish said Dubai Cup or World Cup semi-final. Listen, this is the bread and butter, my friend. Dubai Cup, this is where, you know, once the World Cup finishes on Sunday, we'll all forget about international football. This is our daily grind, you know, Arsenal. So Dubai Cup, that's all that's important. 6:45 tonight when I go on that stream. Then we'll concentrate on the World Cup. Buenos Aires Guna will be going crazy. But for now, Dubai Cup settings. This is all that counts for me. Great ball by Cole Hine there, by the way. Arsenal playing some good football again. Big up Jamar, hope you're well. Partey should not be on the field, said Curtis Collins. Get him off at half-time. Get him off. Williamson, my boy, has a hockey game in Lake Placid later today. It's -13. Stay warm on both sides of the ponds, mate. Come on, you Gunners. Yeah, man, everyone stay safe, man. Everyone stay safe. It can get dangerous when the weather's this cold, man. So everyone be careful, you know. Now, Partey's not injured, but, you know, he got clattered. He was on the floor, so I was a little bit nervous. Here is Thomas Partey. He's playing very... And just as I'm bigging him up, he gives the ball away. Terrible pass. And I think he's just been nutmegged as well and give away a free kick. Get him off. Get him off the pitch. I've seen enough. You know, don't damage his confidence. Oh, Rebic, give him a dirty nutmeg there as well. Nah, get him off. Let's not damage. Listen, before the World Cup, he's whipping shots in the top corner. Do you know what I mean? Getting man of the match. Let's not do this. Let's get him off at half time. No injuries and no more nutmegs. Let's protect him at all costs. Too much for old Partey. You know what I mean? He can't play too much. Big C, the Moroccan manager a year ago attended a tactics seminar hosted by Mikel Arteta. Now he's in the World Cup semi-final, says Jahan. Are the two linked? Is what we have to say. Somebody said there, I just missed that comment. Apologies. Somebody said I need to start giving Odegaard the credit he deserves. Now, listen, I will do. I will. I've always said with Odegaard, good player, needs to turn up in more big games. And so far this season, he's done well. He's done well. But again, very much like Arsenal, I want to see more. You know, I want to see it throughout the season. When them crunch games, when we're at Anfield, when we're at the Etihad, and our back's against the wall and, you know, De Bruyne's running wild. That's when I want to see. Here's Origi! Should have scored. I've never rated that guy, I'm telling you. Never. It's a sitter. That is a sitter, by the way. I've just realised that this Adley, we was linked with him back in the day. That's a great ball. And that is poor defending, by the way. Holding and Gabriel, unmarked between both centre-backs. Poor defending. None of them marking him. Origi should score that. All day long he should score that. Never rated him, people. Never rated him. How has he missed that? And he's tall as well. Jumped early. Free header. 8-9 yards out. Has to score. Has to score that. They're having a drinks break. We don't need that in England, that's for sure. I need a hot chocolate here. Big up Curtly Phillips. He says, yo, it's his birthday. Happy birthday to you. Hope you have a great day, bro. Never rated him. Shameless set. Oh, dear. They're just showing you the Odegaard free kick. Brilliant goal, that. Absolutely brilliant. Over the wall, dips. Keeper was close to it as well. He couldn't move. Emery wanted him before Guendouzi. Yeah, no, just when I saw him then, I was like, yo, we were linked with this guy. I remember him. Adley. Emery wanted him. 100%. He looked sharp. That was a great cross. Your phone said 1-1. Nah, not 1-1, people. Phone's going crazy. Still 1-0. They probably thought Origi had scored as well. Shaquille thought it was 1-1 as well. They're having a drinks break over there in the heat in Dubai. Stadium still looks pretty empty, to be honest. It holds about 17,000, I believe. Doesn't look that busy. I mean, I can't see the whole stadium. It looks busier than the first game. Goals in this tournament have been class. Adley is that kid from PSG. Yeah, we were linked with him under Unai, but he obviously went there. Big C, the app got it wrong. Just saw 1-0. Footmob is bantering Origi. They actually thought Origi had scored, yeah? They probably celebrating already. Amjad said, C Unit, what's up, Big C? We really need to think about a DM. An injury to Thomas Partey. We're definitely in big trouble. Here come Milan again. They're appealing for a free kick. Edge of the box. Referee says no. There's no VAR as well. And Thomas Partey had just played a horrendous pass out to Fabio Vieira. Vieira, in trying to keep it in, has put it out for a corner. So Partey is definitely a bit rusty at the moment. And they're appealing for a foul by Thomas Partey as well, but there's no VAR, so nothing given. Yeah, but come on, one football is the way. Don't deal with all this foot mob or whatever it is. You know, one football. We'll be back working with one football once the Premier League comes back. Thomas Partey's having a bit of a stinker. But as long as he's not injured, we're happy. Corner to Milan, cleared at the near post. No one rates Eddie. We need a new centre forward, said Patrick. I'm inclined to agree. Amrabat for DM at Arsenal. He's had a brilliant World Cup. How's Lokonga been? He's just been steady, Eddie, man. Done nothing special, nothing terrible. He's on the ball right now, and he's got a lot of space. Come on. Come on, Sambi. Played it safe, out wide, of course, to Ben White. Fabio Vieira's been quiet. Not as good as the game against Lyon. Anelka's out there as well. Yeah, Anelka lives in Dubai, don't he? So, wouldn't surprise me, man. That's what I mean. I'd have loved to have gone to this game. Sol Campbell's there. Cazorla's there. Apparently, Anelka's there. I always loved Anelka, man. What a player. Michael's asking for a link. Anyone got a link in the chat? Share it around. Don't forget as well, we will be back for the World Cup semi-final later tonight, 6:45. Argentina against Croatia. Messi or Modric, who makes the World Cup final. Arsenal keeping possession well. That's a brilliant ball over their top. Heavy touch, though, by Kieran Tierney, lad. Maybe it's too hot for Kieran Tierney, you know. He probably wants to be here in the snow. There's a lovely ball there by Gabriel. And Tierney had a heavy touch. Goal kick. Anelka was a baller, 100%. Massively underrated at Arsenal. Why risk Partey in a meaningless game? Imagine he pulls his hamstring, misses a couple of months. Problem is, he was knocked out the World Cup, last week? We don't play a league game until a week on Monday. So how long do you leave him out for? He needs to stay ticking over, don't he? So he's got to come off at half-time. Give him 45 minutes. We play Juventus on the weekend. Maybe you give him 45 in that. And then he's got 8 days to recover, or 9 days to recover, till we play West Ham. So you do have to keep him ticking over. That's the thing. Big up Chris Lopez, who said C-Unit business. Long throw into the area. Goalkeeper fumbles it, but the ref gives a free kick to the goalkeeper. Looked a little bit dodgy there, I can't lie. I'm not sure it was much of a foul. Partey needs to come off at half-time, I agree. Awes said Croatian midfield to dominate Argentina. Let's see. I mean, Modric, Kovacic, Brozovic. Probably against Enzo Fernandez, Rodrigo de Paul. Maybe Paredes or someone. It'll be a good game, but Lionel Messi, man, he's been the difference maker. Good ball there by Odegaard. Odegaard's had a very good first half, not just the goal. Big C, can you imagine a fan base? Big C, you can imagine the big fan base you have in Uganda. We definitely need to get in touch, my man. Keep it burning. Listen, man, big up. C-Unit community. We got to do a tour at some stage or something, you know, hopefully. All in good time, you know. I can't lie, this AC Milan bogey green kit ain't the one. My eyes, you're not a fan of it. Yeah, I have to admit, I'm not sure about it either. We should bring Anelka back. He'd be our only striker. DJ Mac Daddy, thank you for the super chat. Nelson not party with the bad pass out to Vieira. My bad. My bad. I've stitched him up. I'm blaming him for things he hasn't even done wrong now. But he definitely hasn't had a great game. He's been untidy on the ball. Melbourne said, what's a Yardie name for Southgate? What can we call Southgate, man? We call him... What should we call him? What does he wears a waistcoat? Anyway, call him Coaty. Man like Coaty, fam. You know the boy Coaty? You know Coaty? Southgate. I can't think what other nickname he would give him. Probably call him Wasteman, not Waistcoat. But yeah, that's the best I've got. Probably Coaty, you know. Man like, you know Coaty from Uptown? Man said Sorrel Southgate. Gate South. That's a waste, man. Oh, dear. Yasin said, we need a Shaw on tour visiting fans. Please come to Sweden in the summer, though. It's too cold now. Yeah, man. We'll definitely do something, man. Obviously, depends where Arsenal go on tour as well in the summer. Usually, they play a game in Europe somewhere, and then they'll go further afield. So we'll have to see where they go, man. Do we link to any DMs in January? Well, they're being linked with Yunus Musa now, but I don't know if that's just obvious to link us to him, you know, because he's a player we've spoken about a lot in the World Cup. Seems like Danilo isn't somebody they want now. So, yeah, we'll have to see. We definitely need a midfielder. Sambi is 23, said Jake. He's going to have to improve quickly. Definitely. For me... Sambi, for me, between now and the end of the season, if he's in the same position he's in terms of performances, I'm getting rid of him in the summer. We can have a debate about you could possibly loan him and try and see if he goes on loan and comes back a better player. You know, they loaned out Nuno. But certainly for me, next year, and if we're in Champions League, which I hope we are, I'm not keeping Sambi Lokonga. I know he's 23 and maybe there's potential, but I'm moving him on in the summer. Like I said, whether it's a loan or whether you sell him, I don't think he's good enough. For me, you've got Xhaka and Partey. I think you could get Tielemans on a free as the ball-playing centre mid, and then you sign a DM in this window. There's your 4 centre midfielders for me. And then if El Neni wants to stay and be 5th choice. But for me, I'm moving him on in the summer. I don't rate him at all. Chance over the top for Milan runs through to Hein. Louis said, Sambi, Eddie, Cedric and Holding got to go. All horrendous. Eddie on 100k is mad. I think a few of them will go in the summer. Rob Holding will probably be here. He'll get his testimonial. He would stay here as the 10th choice centre-back. But some of them guys definitely got to be moved on. The only thing with Eddie on 100 grand, who would give him that? Who's going to match that? Big up Kyle, who said, big up Big C. Long time I haven't tuned in live. Nice to be back. Big up the whole C-Unit crew. Much love. Big up yourself, bro. Sub said, I think Santi Cazorla can get the best out of Sambi. Let's see. Apparently he's a good coach. Foul there by Eddie Nketiah. Had a heavy touch. Tried to retain possession. And it's a foul. Free kick to Milan in the middle of the pitch. Sometimes you need those players to fill squad numbers. And the thing is as well, you know, because English players, you know, I think, is it 5 or 8 English players that have to be in your squad? So They just keep holding and then man there just to fill the quota. You know, you've seen it at other clubs. Man City have got Scott Carson. He's about 40 years of age. You know, he's got grey beard and everything. He never plays. But he's there just to fill the English quota. Man said Duppygate, you know. No, it's all mad. It's all mad. Man are calling him Duppygate. Free kick to Milan about 35 yards out. Chip to the back post. Headed away by Arsenal, and it goes out for a throw into Milan. 7 minutes till half-time, people. Holding is the new Jenkinson. Nice guy settings. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's better than Jenkinson. Jenkinson was absolutely horrendous. But still, yeah, it is nice guy settings. He trains well. He's on time every day. Probably sends Arteta a message saying, you know, what drink do you want from Starbucks? One of them guys. Shall I pick the cones up, Mikel? Yeah, no problem. I'll give him a new deal. Here's Fabio Vieira, right-hand side. Hasn't been in the game much. Wins a throw in there. Gets smacked in the face as well. So I'm saying, man, these men don't play. Tonali just wrapped him up. I think he punched him in the face almost. No VAR, so he ain't going to get sent off. That's my only concern with Fabio Vieira. Is it about that physical... You know, when it gets physical, man. Justin said Gareth Patty shop. He's definitely a vegetable patty as well. You know, them ones. Gareth Patty shop, you know. Oh, dear me. That's decent, that. Holding will still be there, even if it means selling programs. I'm telling you, he won't leave. You look a little tense, Mikel. Would you like a massage? Yeah, Holding's one of them guys. What do you want for Christmas, Mikel? Want a new Rolex? Just make sure I get a new contract. You know them guys, man. Northgate, Westgate, Eastgate. White looks rusty. He'll take a little bit of time. He hasn't played the whole World Cup, is he? So, in effect, he hasn't played for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Odegaard's passing and touches are looking crispy. Definitely. He's been our best player today. Given away by the Milan goalkeeper, Fabio Vieira. Here we go, Reece Nelson scores! 2-0 to Arsenal. 2-0. Now, did that hit Odegaard on the way in? I think it's Nelson's goal. That is terrible from the goalkeeper of AC Milan. And Arsenal lead 2-0. Go on, Reece, lad. I don't know what's wrong with this goalkeeper. He's had an absolute nightmare. 2-0 to the Gunners, Reece Nelson. And this is what I'm saying. It's not about necessarily winning the Dubai Super Cup. It's about the effect it can have on players. Who did that hit? Did it hit Odegaard or did it hit the defender? It hits the defender of Milan. Well done, Reece. I'm happy for Reece. You know, he needs to rescue his Arsenal career, man. I think there is talent there with Reece Nelson. So yeah, I'm happy with it. 2-0. We predicted 2-0, but there's a long way to go in the game. Don't know what the goalkeeper was doing there. Terrible pass. I believe he's the second or third choice goalkeeper for Milan, so they won't be playing him. But yeah, Arsenal leading 2-0. Reece Nelson with the second goal. Poor defending. Or poor goalkeeping from Milan. Fabio Vieira with the assist. And Nelson makes it 2-0 3 minutes before half-time, people. Slouchgate. That's another banger, by the way. That brother don't know when to make a substitution, man. Rebic is fouled there by, I think Partey fouled him again. Get Partey off at half-time, by the way. No time to be risking him. The Dubai Cup is coming home to London. Bring it home, people. Al-Khawdi said many English fans came from Qatar by the look of it. More than last time. Listen, if England are out, you might as well go and watch Arsenal. I'm sure there's plenty of gooners who was at the World Cup. Enzo Fernandez to Liverpool is mad. We should have signed him. If they get him, I'm not happy. I can't lie. I'm not even going to cap. That is a player that I rate highly. Why would they sign him and Jude Bellingham? You're just being greedy now, Liverpool. You're just being greedy. Let someone else sign him. I think he's a brilliant, brilliant young player. Yeah, I said Real Madrid and Liverpool have looked at him, but at the moment Liverpool look like favourites. Pure greed, but yeah, fair play. Why not? If you can get both of them, take both of them. Get rid of Milner, probably get rid of Kate or get rid of Oxlade-Chamberlain. Yeah, they'll need midfielders. Nelson is class at Arsenal FC. I think he's got potential. It's about producing it now this season. He obviously scored a couple against Forest in the league. And he's done well in this tour so far. He's done well. I thought he played really well against Leon. Today's been all right. But he's got his goal, and he'll be, he'll lift his spirits. So big him up. Curtis Army, 1,000 likes. Come on, people, let's get 1,000 likes hit sooner rather than later. Should be light work. We've got 1,800 of you in the chat. Brilliant support as always. Liverpool are reloading. Yeah, listen, I was thinking probably 6 months, a year ago, I was thinking, wonder if Klopp might walk. Wonder if Pep might walk. All of a sudden, Pep signs a new deal, and Klopp signed a new deal, and Liverpool might get taken over and get loads of money. So it ain't going to get no easier, that is for sure, which is why I keep saying we have to go for the title this season, because I think the Prem will be harder next season. How is Rebic not in the Croatian team? That's interesting, yeah. Surely they should have picked it. Lewis said, hey, Big C, who you enjoyed getting knocked out more, CR7, Suarez, Son, or Richarlison? I gotta go for Luis Suarez, man. Racial abuse. Gotta go for Luis Suarez. But anyway, we're not promoting violence. I can't lie. Big up DJ Mac Daddy. He said Creaky Gate, Laugh Gate, Zinc Gate. Hey, Southgate nicknames keep rolling in. P45 Gate is what I would have, mate. I would have him out the door. If it was me who ran the FA. Anthony said, if Liverpool get Enzo and Bellingham, just give him the title, 23-24. Does one of the 5 English players need to make 100k? Would make sense then why Eddie got the bag. Definitely don't. Definitely don't. Which we still can't understand. Seeing Bruno Fernandes getting knocked out was amazing. Arsenal on the attack again here. Nelson. Oh, just over the bar. Arsenal look good on the break, man. I'm telling you, it could be Nelson on the left, Martinelli through the middle. Against West Ham. Left foot shot. Did the keeper save that? No, it goes over the crossbar. Unlucky, man. Outgate. Sackgate. Gunnar Vettel said, Hine impressed me a lot. His passing is quality for someone that inexperienced. He's done well. Done well. The biggest problem that we've got is pressure changes everything. Hine looks great in what is effectively a mid-season / pre-season friendly, but pressure changes everything. It's the reason why Arsenal of many times have won pre-season tournaments. And then I remember us beating Bayern Munich in a pre-season tournament and then losing 5-1 to them in the Champions League. And Ketia shoots just wide there. Zulinator's not happy. He said, all of my comments are being skipped by Curtis. I guess it's for a small select in the community. Karma, my friend. I see you, bro. I see you. Nobody gets ignored, man. I see you, bro. Patience is a virtue, my friend. Man said, Rasgate. Ras him out, yes? Southgate is Roberto Martinez 2.0. Both Belgium and England have golden generations and no success. I agree with that, Ahmed. I think this is one of the best England squads that they've had for years. And you're giving it to a guy that got sacked by Middlesbrough. That none of the big clubs in England would go anywhere near him if he was available for work. None of the clubs would look at Southgate as a club manager. So, for me, listen, I see a lot of people saying, oh, the manager's got to be English. Not for me. Not for me. The manager's got to be a winner. Got to be a manager that can produce a team capable of winning. So, I don't care where they're from. Southgate ain't that guy. He's had 3 tournaments, and he should have won the Euros, and he should have got to another final out of the other 2. So, yeah, for me, he's not good enough. Man said Big C has his favourites like Southgate. Mason Mount settings, yeah? Greatest YouTuber alive, Big C. Hey, big up Dr. Bird. I'll take that. We take the compliments. Arsene Wenger as England manager. I think Arsene's done, man. I think he's at a point now where he just wants to, do an office job at FIFA or something like that. 4 minutes added on. We're 3.5 in. Noel said, Curtis, you're one of few big channels which read the standard comments as well as super chats. Big up to you. We try, my friend. We try. Vieira loses possession. Last chance of the half. AC Milan on the attack. They got bodies forward. Overhit the pass. Goes through to Karl Hein. That should be half-time. And the referee blows the half-time whistle. Arsenal 2. AC Milan 0. Decent first half, to be honest. Brilliant goal from Martin Odegaard. Lovely free kick. I'd say Odegaard's been our best player, if I'm being honest. He's got on the ball, great touches, some good little passes, and he's looked really good. His free kick was excellent. And then Reiss Nelson with the deflected shot for the second one. So, yeah, all in all, a good first half. Very good first half. Mr. Man said, long as Wenger comes nowhere near the Emirates, I'm cool. Beans means Heinz. Why not? He's doing well. Big C likes comments with sauce. You got to call with a bit of sauce. Daniel said, Curtis, do you put Iniesta on Zidane's level? No, I don't. No, I don't. I think Zidane is a little bit higher than Iniesta for me. I'd say Iniesta is world class. I think Zinedine Zidane is like an icon. I think he's a footballing icon. We had this discussion the other day, but yeah, for me, Zidane, you're talking about one of the best centre midfielders we've ever seen play the game. And Burma said, Curtis, did you see Mourinho to be offered the Portugal job and can do duel with manager of Roma? Be interesting if he does that. That's got to be a hard job to do. Because these guys, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure if... Will Mourinho take that job? Portugal and Roma at the same time. Chuckles said, 2018 World Cup, England should have been in the final. Should have won the Euros. Should have made the final of the current World Cup. Southgate is underperforming. England should have definitely got to the final, 2018. 1-0 up against Croatia. Kane doesn't give it to Sterling. Then Southgate made crazy substitutions and ruined the game. 2020, but we played it in 2021. How England lost to that Italian team at home, I will never know. This is an Italian team that didn't even qualify for the World Cup a year later. And England lost to them on penalties because Southgate sat there for 90 minutes, didn't make any changes. So they should have won the Euros. And like I said yesterday, we were talking about it. France had no Kimpembe, no Kante, no Pogba, no Nkunku, and no Karim Benzema. And they lost Lucas Hernandez first game. So 6 players out of their squad. Whether they would have all started or not, that's a different matter. But a Ballon d'Or winning striker, 2 of their best centre mids, yeah, and we couldn't beat them. And he didn't make changes. He had one of the best squads in the tournament. Rashford, joint top scorer, comes on with 5 minutes to go. He brings on Mason Mount, first change. Waits until Giroud scores, and then brings on Sterling, who spent half the week travelling. He's not that guy, man. Not that guy. Let's see what he's saying. Gus said, Big C, Sambi needs to be sold. I mean, listen, there's no argument with me. I'm more than willing to let him go. I haven't seen enough. Loan him out if you feel... If Arteta thinks there's potential there, then you can give him a loan for a year and see what happens. But if not, then loan him. Loan him out. Loan him out. Rahan said, Big C, watch in 5 years how Giroud has a 90 rated icon card. Streets won't forget the goal drought. I said this yesterday. He's like fine wine, man. He's got even better since he left us. Which is unfortunate because I would have liked to have seen the best of Giroud at Arsenal as a player. We got great moments. 10 to 15 goals, Giroud would get that. If you look at his highlights reel, top 10 goals, he probably looks like one of the best strikers you've ever seen, because he is literally a scorer of great goals. But we can't forget 15 games without scoring. I can't forget Monaco at home, 5 clear-cut chances. It is what it is, but he's got a lot better. Wasim said, Big C, let's be real, does Sambi start for any Prem club? Honestly, he might not start. I mean, currently, bottom of the league is Wolves. João Matinho, Ruben Neves. I'm not sure who else plays centre mid for Wolves, but yeah, for me, he possibly doesn't start for any team in the Premier League, and that's not even cap. So yeah, no, yeah, he's not good enough. Apparently, the commentators keep butchering Eddie Nketiah's name. Partey the best on the pitch, Sambi holding the worst. Can't win a ball, trap nothing. I mean, listen, I wouldn't say Partey's been the best. Seen him putting the ball out of play. He got nutmegged as well. But Holding got spun like Beyblade, and Sambi just won't take the safety off, man. Everything's sideways and backwards. Nathan said, all right, Curtis, how you doing, bro? I hope Reece keeps it up. He seems to have got some confidence from the Forest game a few weeks ago. Yeah, big up, man. Listen, Reece is a talent. It's clear as day. I think he's been mismanaged by Arsenal over the last few years as well. I think he needed, when he went to Germany, that loan move didn't work for him. One thing that I think Arsenal should do more often is loan players to Premier League clubs, because sometimes you send a player abroad, he's going to look good in that environment, but it's still so different to the Premier League. So they're still not necessarily prepared for the Prem when they come back in the first team. I've always thought Reiss Nelson had talent, but he's a little bit lightweight, always looked a little bit underprepared for the Prem. But he's looking all right, Nelson. I really hope he becomes a player this season. Sambi seems low on confidence. He needs a good manager to give him time. For me, because he's 23, and you never know what can happen in football, and the reality is nobody's going to come and pay big money for Sambi Lokonga, right? We paid 17 million for him. His stock is probably lower right now, because when we signed him, there was hype around him. He was in the Belgium squad, and Vincent Kompany was singing his praises. I think if you sell Sambi now, you get less than what we paid for him. I would probably give him a year on loan somewhere else. If he doesn't do anything on loan, you bin him. And if he does well on loan, maybe you still sell him. And make the most of the money for him. So I'm not convinced by him at all. And I don't like to just disregard a player quickly. But he's in his second season, and I genuinely haven't seen nothing from Sambi. Honestly, I don't know. I say it all the time, and I sincerely mean this. I ask people all the time, what is Sambi good at? What's his strength? Even El Neni. I don't really rate El Neni like that. But if you said to me, what's El Neni good at? I say, he's got an unbelievable engine. He never stops running. He nicks possession back. He's very tidy on the ball. Doesn't really go forward that much. But he's a very good workhorse for a certain amount of games, right? 5-6 games, El Neni's good. Over a longer period of time, he's going to get exposed. He's not that guy. But we at least recognise what his strengths are. I look at Sambi and I'm like, when he's on the ball, he plays it safe. Doesn't play passes forward. Doesn't shoot. Doesn't drive forward on the ball. Defensively, doesn't really win the ball back that much. Not that strong. I find it very difficult to see what he's good at. And that's my problem with him. And listen, like you said, I believe we've tried with him. I believe we've tried. And I think we have to also understand, as fans, don't feel guilty for believing that a player's not good enough for the football club. There's nothing wrong with that. Because sometimes people make you feel wrong for, like, oh, you can't criticise an Arsenal player. Like, I'm an Arsenal fan. Everyone watching who is an Arsenal fan, or whoever you support your club. We've supported Sambi Lokonga time and time again. We can't see it. So I don't feel guilty for saying that I don't think Sambi Lokonga is good enough. And if he's in this position by the end of the season, I would get rid of him. You've signed him for 17 mil. You tried a thing. He looked good in Belgium. 17 million hasn't worked. Either try and get your money back or get him out on loan. And maybe in 12 months on loan somewhere else, he comes back a better player. But you don't sit around and wait 5 years for somebody to become a player. Exactly, Nimbo. At the moment, our thought process should be we're trying to finish above Manchester City. The only way you finish above Manchester City is if you start thinking like a winner. The reason for me that England lost to France, in my opinion, is I don't think England really believed that they could beat the French. They hoped, but I don't think they really believed it. From the media to the manager to the players. Yeah, they spent 5 days talking about Mbappe. Sky Sports News. How are you going to deal with Mbappe? Mbappe. They've had this 2-year plan of how to deal with Mbappe. They were having meltdowns. Do you think French media were going, oh my God, Harry Kane, Saka, how are we going to live with him? How can we stop England? They weren't saying that. They were going, yeah, man, you got some good players. We're going to be respectful. But listen, you try and deal with what we've got. Yeah, that's what you need to worry about. And this is the problem. This is why England didn't beat France. I don't think they really believed that they could beat France. And for me, listen, like people saying there, Nathan saying, Willian was getting death threats, which was terrible, by the way, and definitely isn't condoned. After one season, fans said, that's it, had enough, seen him, he's rubbish, not good enough, get rid of him. So let's not sit here for 3-4 years going, oh, Sambi might become this player in 3 years. His level's below Guendouzi, right? And we got rid of Guendouzi. Guendouzi was because of attitude. We know that. We understand that. But let's not lower our standards. We're trying to move up as a football club. Let's not settle for players that don't look anywhere near good enough. Fears said Sambi's issue is mentality. In the documentary, he had his head down because he wasn't playing instead of training hard to force his way into the team. Can't be solved with a loan. Get rid of him. Now, this is another thing. Some players, they grow up their whole life playing. Probably come out the youth team, play every week, got in the first team, play. Comes to Arsenal, bench. Some players don't know how to deal with that because that takes a certain type of mentality, and you make a great point. When a player gets benched, I've done it. Any of you who play football, no matter what level you're playing at, there's 2 reactions that you have when you get benched. You either sit there and you go, this manager's an idiot, man. I'm better than that guy. Why am I not starting? I'm vexed. And you're angry and you get down. Or you sit there and you go, this guy, how dare he put me on the bench? When I come on, I'm going to prove this guy wrong and show him that I could be starting. It takes a very strong mentality to be that second one. A lot of us, we sulk about it, start cussing the manager, blah, blah, blah. And some players don't know how to be on the bench and force their way into the team. And that's the problem. But listen, I don't want to spend 10 minutes talking about Sambi. It is what it is. I think he's in the same position he was in before, really. I just don't see enough from him. 1.9k in the chat. Unbelievable support, people. Big up to each and every one of you. Let's get 1,500 likes. Should be easy. And big up. We got 47 on Twitch as well. Big up Twitch gang. C-Unit Business. There's a third option, fam. Piers Morgan. Yeah, go and do an interview with Piers. Rowan said only a few footballers have that second mentality. It's true. And listen, I'll be honest with you. There's been times I've been that first option. This guy's an idiot, man, putting me on the bench. What's he on, man? I'm better than him and blah, blah, blah. I'm keeping it 100, man. It takes a lot of strength to be that number 2 option who says, listen, I'm going to prove myself. Cardo said just joined. So Odegaard and Reece Nelson with the goals. Brilliant goal from Odegaard. Free kick over the wall, bottom corner. And a deflected shot from Nelson inside the box. Chris said, Curtis, which feels worse? A player playing bad at the club at the moment or leaving and going up another level? A player playing bad at the club at the moment or leaving. So, I mean, listen, if he's at your club playing bad and then you sell them and then they go somewhere else and play well. I always say you can't get caught up on that too much because it's the circumstances of where they're at the moment. The same player can go to two different clubs and have the same ability and have two totally different situations. Let's be real. Willian, the year before he signed for Arsenal, he was one of Chelsea's best players. Go and look at his numbers that season. I think he had his best season in terms of numbers the season before Arsenal signed him from Chelsea. Season he left Chelsea, 9 goals, 7 assists, right? That's just in the league. 16 goal contributions that season. He came to Arsenal, got 1 goal and 5 assists, and then we got rid of him. Job done. Same player, 2 different environments. Is the mentality the same? Does he care about this club the same? Does he connect with that manager the same way? The style of football. I remember, Nathan, this is how I know Willian was good, right? Arsenal played Chelsea FA Cup final, right? When Aubameyang chipped the keeper. I remember we did a watch-along for AFTV at Box Park. And I remember the team coming out and Willian missed the game for injury. And I remember when the team came out, we was all celebrating Willian not being in the team. I remember it clear as day. We was like, yes, Willian's not playing for Chelsea. Because we were like, yo, Willian's on form. And they had Giroud up front. And Willian's a good crosser of the ball. And we was like, yeah. And yet we signed the guy 2 months later. And it was a nightmare on Elm Street, you know. So it's all about environment. It's like anything. It's like work. It's like, you know, if you're under pressure, sometimes people... that pressure makes it worse. You know, some people need an arm around them, say, listen, don't worry, you're not under pressure, we believe in you. And that's how it goes, people. You know, that's how it goes. Marshall said, Big C, your prediction for Morocco v France. Go to these YouTube streets. Hey, big up yourself, brother. I'm going to go for a French win, I can't lie. It might seem just like the easy option. But yeah, man, I'm gonna stick with a French win. Arsenal making a couple of substitutions. Who is this who Arteta's hugging for AC Milan on the bench? I didn't see who that was. He obviously knows him very well, but I want to see who that is. Arsenal making a couple changes. Big C, Willian was hard, don't get twisted, just not for the Gunners. That's what I'm saying. Willian was a baller at Chelsea. No doubt about it. All you got to do is watch Fulham. He's still techie and does bits for them. Willian was never decent, bro. Honestly, never rated him at Chelsea. Man was always hit or miss, but man had no strength, and players with no strength get found out. Interesting. But he definitely produced at times at Chelsea. Brahim Diaz. Where does he know him from then? Must be a Spanish link. Get him to the carpet. He's a good player, by the way. Second half underway, people. Second half underway. Arsenal lead by 2-0. The famous, epic Dubai Super Cup. And looking forward to the second half, people. Looking forward to the second half. Hopefully, we can get another couple of goals. I'm sure Eddie will be desperate to score a goal in this second half. Oh, Diaz was at City, was he? Fair play, fair play. Obviously coached him at City. He's done well at Milan, by the way. He looks a techie baller. Big C, Morocco face Belgium, Croatia, Spain, Portugal haven't conceded a goal. France won't score against Morocco. Yeah, I know a lot of people have said that, but France are better than all of them teams you just mentioned. You know, I just think that will make the difference. But I think it will be close. I know it's the easy option. I think it's going to be an Argentina-France final, if I'm being honest. Ball whipped in, cleared by Gabriel. Good defending, and Arsenal get away with the ball. Diaz was at Man City. He was an absolute baller for the under-21s and 18s. Chris said, how did Lukaku flop at United? Went to Inter, became a superstar, then flopped back at Chelsea. Should players take responsibility more than the manager? And again, it's all about environment, style of play. You look at him at Everton, they had wingers that could cross, they had fullbacks that could cross. Their whole team was built around him. Seamus Coleman whipping balls in, Leighton Baines, header, everything was built around him. And it made him look like a dream. Went to Manchester United where, you know, they wanted to play more football, more link-up play. It was a nightmare. Went to Italy, again, more direct, looked brilliant. It's crazy. It is crazy, you know. It's all about the environment that you're in. It really is. Here come AC Milan. Chance shot deflected, goes out for a corner. And that was Diaz. He looks sharp already, by the way. So it's going to be an interesting half, this one. Can we hold on and secure the win? I'm just trying to see who came on at half time. There were substitutions made there. So Thomas Partey came off and Mohamed El Neni came on for Arsenal. So thankfully, people, Thomas Partey is off the pitch. And that was a chance, goes out for another corner to AC Milan. Thomas Partey is off and Mo El Neni is on, which is always great news. And Ben White came off for Cedric as well. So 2 changes there for Arsenal. Yes, sir, said Curtis, do you know Arteta coached and held tactical lessons from Morocco's manager? Yeah. And apparently Morocco's manager was teammates with Giroud back in the day. Alcalde said, Curtis, we could be champions of the legendary Dubai Super Cup. I can't believe it. Tears of joy, mate, at the end of this. It could be. Tears of joy. I'm happy that Partey is off. I don't think he's injured, you know, because they showed you him jogging at the end of the first half. It looked as if the coach was telling him to do a cool down. Tierney gives the ball away there. Milan on the attack. Here's a chance. They got a man over here. Oh, the passes over hit, goes out for a goal kick. Now, I think he's all right. He was running at the end of the half. Looked like he was doing a warm down, so I think he's all right. Joe Willock is miles better than Sambi. We let Guendouzi and Torreira leave as well. Midfield beef up is a must in January. 100%. I actually thought Joe Willock for 25 million made good business sense for Arsenal. Guendouzi I would have definitely kept, but the reality is when you don't get on with a manager, ultimately you end up paying the price. Torreira didn't want to be in England, but we definitely need to bulk up that midfield with some power, with some quality on the ball as well. DJ Asher, England are some of the best strikers in the world. Postal workers, train workers and nurses. Everybody's going on strike in England, people. It's all mad. Train strikes, you know what I mean? Postal strikes, the nurses, everyone. But listen, fair play, man. If the government aren't paying you properly, do what's necessary, man. Prem is tough for him. Serie A is soft. I doubt if Sambi will ever come good. We need a midfielder with presence on the ball. Arsenal will never go wrong with Fofana, Caicedo or Amrabat. Yep, some good names there. I think a lot of clubs will be queuing up for Amrabat, man. Curtis, the commentator, said Arsenal are heavily linked with Felix. What do you think? Listen, if we sign Felix, I will be happy with that signing. Do I think he's the ideal player? Maybe not. Do I think he's worth 80, 90 million? Probably not as well. But if we got him, I would be very happy because he's a quality player. Again, he's another player that I kind of look at and think, how would he get on in the Prem? Very physical. Ceballos is the most shallow player of all time. Madrid are giving him a new contract. No, Madrid are giving him a new contract. As a Madrid fan, I like Ceballos as a squad player. Whenever he plays, he does well for us. I know Arsenal fans don't like him. And this is what I'm saying, you know. Ceballos in La Liga, playing for Real Madrid, probably looks techie, you know. You put him next to Luka Modric and Toni Kroos, he probably looks like a baller. I remember his debut for Arsenal. He looked unbelievable against Burnley that game at the Emirates. But when the Prem got a bit physical, he couldn't live with it, and that's the problem. Not every player who struggles in the Prem is a bad player. Just maybe this league doesn't suit them, you know. Hine on the ball there. Does well. Ceballos is a B-Tech. Dennis Suarez. I think he was better than Suarez. I can't lie. That Suarez was terrible. DJ Sweets, I can't see it like that, Curtis, bro. It was bad business. Joe Willock is a Toon favourite and big game bagging. I still just think... I look at Joe Willock, I think if he was at Arsenal now, he'd be on the bench. He'd be on the bench. Don't get me wrong, he'd be a decent option to bring off the bench for a goal from midfield. But I think his development would have been slower, and Newcastle offered him good wages. He starts at times for them, and 25 million. Listen, the club have to make money somewhere. We definitely are the worst club, I would say, at selling players. So to get 25 for Joe Willock, I thought was not bad. I think he suits Newcastle more than Arsenal, Joe Willock, if I'm being honest. Ben said Vlahovic would be great. We don't have a lot of height. I'd definitely go for him over Felix. Felix on loan would suit both parties since he has 3 years left on his contract. Maybe we could get him on loan, obligation to buy in the summer. Are Arsenal skipping out on getting a midfielder in the January window because Coutinho is expecting to be a first teamer next season? Listen, I don't care. Even if Coutinho comes back, we need a midfielder. 100%. Because, you know, we're short. We're short in that area. Willock's better than Lokonga. I do agree with that. Ainsley should have been sold. 25 million is the new 5 million. Yeah, look, championship players are going for 20-odd million now. CDM is a must. We have to get back up for Partey, man. Somebody who can push him. Curtis Painter said Willock's worth 50 now. See, I still don't think he's worth 50. He might be worth more than the 25. I still don't think Joe Willock's a £50 million player. Doesn't get picked for England. You know, I don't think he is. I think he's maybe 30, 35, if you know. But recall Balogun. I don't think they will. I think they'll leave him. I think he needs to develop. He's doing well in France. Milan on the ball. Middle of the pitch. Ball through the middle. Hine comes off his line, does well, and collects it. Sweet said, true, Willock would have been slow progression, but he comes on and bags. He's got high energy. Yeah, listen. Definitely would have been an option off the bench. We don't really have many options like that. But it's, you know, he wanted first-team football after being at Newcastle, and we couldn't offer him that. Omid said, Big C, Mikel Moreno from Sociedad, brilliant player, box-to-box, press-resistant, can compete comfortably with Xhaka. Do you know what's interesting, right? I've watched this guy play a few times. I remember watching a game, I believe he was at Newcastle, right? Centre mid. And I watched this guy against Arsenal and I thought, this guy looks like a complete midfielder. He's reasonably tall, looks strong, he could play, he could tackle, he could run. I thought, wow, this guy looks like a player. And then he went to Real Sociedad and I was like, I can't believe Newcastle let him go, but he looks a good player. But would he want to come back to the Prem? I don't know. How much would he cost? I don't know as well is the other question, but definitely good. Kangeli said, would you pay 75 million for Declan Rice? I don't think he's worth it. Honestly, I don't. But somebody will pay it for him. He's decent. He is decent. I don't want people to think I'm saying Declan Rice is a bad player. I just think you can get a player that can do what he does for less money. But if we got him, I'd shamelessly celebrate it, I suppose. Yasser said, Curtis, does his son deserve a PS5 or a Switch after he got all A's in his homeschool exam? Tried to tell him PS5s are sold out everywhere. I mean, there's a price difference, right? You're going to get a Switch maybe for $250, a PS5 maybe $400. And it's about what they're going to get more use out of as well. And listen, what's more affordable? See what he wants more and what's more affordable, you know? PS5 are good, though. I got to admit. But I know the kids like the Nintendo Switch as well. I think we need Big C in attack. He's one of the best poachers. His wages are a problem. Listen, man, they can get me for pennies. Don't worry about it. Let's not forget about Patino. Yeah, but I'm not really banking on him coming back and being an answer. He's on loan in the Championship, doing well at Blackpool. That's a long way away from coming to Arsenal and kind of dominating in the Prem. Throw into Arsenal. Second half started a bit slow. Eddie's doing his usual. He's lively, you know, but he hasn't got the goal yet. I'm sure he'll be desperate to score. PS5 for 400. They're like 600. Well, that's mad. I didn't know they were that much. Nathan said Patino needs another loan. I just still have flashbacks from him playing against Nottingham Forest and getting absolutely bullied in that FA Cup game. Listen, he might have got stronger now. I haven't seen him play for Blackpool, so I'm not sure where he's at. Fabio Vieira gets fouled there. Vieira's not been great today, not going to lie. Milan have been a lot more physical with him than Lyon and hasn't been as effective. The problem we've got with this, we're playing Fabio Vieira right wing. He doesn't really have that pace. So when he gets the ball, he's not really going to run past the left back. So he's forced to cut inside, try and do like kind of what Bernardo Silva does on that side. Milan on the ball, shot blocked. The difference is Bernardo Silva has so much movement in that Manchester City team that he can drift off the right and go and link play and get between the lines. Tony said just paid €700 for a PS5. That's crazy. Nathan said I was more banking on Hutchinson to come through, but we sold him to the rent boys. Yeah, I think he was ahead of him at one stage. Gonna Roller, thank you for the super chat. Said I think we'll see a different João Felix at Arsenal, free to express himself, free from the shackles of Simeone. That is a good point. There's a chance. Odegaard, he gets tackled and Milan clear it. I always said that it was the wrong club for him to go to Atletico, man. They were never going to get the best out of him. They've held him back for a long time. He probably needs a fresh start. Captain, cringe captain, said Vieira needs to bulk up. They need to get him on that protein, man. Definitely got to get him stronger. Prince said, I think even though we may like players that we believe would be a good fit, I think Arsenal focus a lot on background checks and personality before pulling the trigger. Yeah, we like, I think we like players that are very well behaved, very nice, don't do too much wrong. I'm probably under 25, can be coached with a lot of potential, you know. That seems to be what we like. Which is why I think players like Zaha and players like that, I don't think Arsenal would look at players like that. Because they're not easy to necessarily control, and they're maybe in their prime now rather than their better years ahead of them. But ultimately, I always say there's going to have to be a transition at Arsenal where we start signing players like that. Because let's be honest, Nicolas Anelka, Le Souk, what a player he was. Ian Wright constantly turned up late, one of our best strikers ever. Thierry Henry, from what I heard, was quite moody at times. For me, the best player that's ever played for Arsenal. Wayne Rooney, you know, young Rooney at Man United. He was doing all sorts. Cantona. A lot of the best players, they have ego. They're difficult to control. They may cause you problems at times, but that's the price that you pay for their quality. So we can't always avoid that and just go, let's get a 21-year-old who's never done anything wrong, who's going to be a teacher's pet. Because having a bunch of them don't necessarily, you know, bring you titles. Pat said, just woke up 7 a.m. on the West Coast. Big up the community. Hope you're well, bro. We like teachers' pet, said South London's finest. And that's something we got to get away from. Smokey said, Ndicka and Trusty are both coming. Who you playing? Bro, honestly, Trusty the Process, Austin Trusty, who's at Birmingham. I've never seen him play. So I've got to go with the other guy, Ndicka, and I haven't even really seen him play. So, long throw by Tierney, flicked on, they clear it. Not a lot happening in this second half. Comes back out to Tierney, cross in position, whips it in. Not a bad ball, that flicked away. Here's a chance. Fabio Vieira shoots, it's blocked. Goes out. That was half chance there. Man out of time said, C-Unit is Rafael Leao definitely going to Chelsea, would be monumental. I like him. I don't see Chelsea are just buying everyone. Like, they're buying Nkunku. Window hasn't even opened. They're being linked with Leao. Like, I would love to sign Leao at Arsenal. I like him. I think he's a very good player. Amaru said Big C, but Zaha will be better than Mudryk as Zaha is Prem ready. We need Prem ready players to challenge for the title. Need to sign ready-made world-class players. I mean, they're more expensive, they're bigger wages, and Arteta, can he handle them? Is he prepared to handle them? That's the question. This is what the transition is going to be. If we get Champions League football this season, you've got to go for better players. Nathan said we should be going for Rashford. I think he'll sign a new contract. Listen, I don't want to start this debate too much, Nathan, because, you know people that I've said many times I'd take Rashford at Arsenal. He's out of contract in the summer, but United have a 1-year option to extend it. Ten Hag said they're going to trigger that. But will he sign a contract? They would still possibly sell him in the summer because he's in the last year of his deal. I think I'm with Sydney. I think PSG have tapped him up because they wanted him last summer. They want him this summer. There's rumours that Messi could go to America. I think they've probably done, the fact that their owner spoke openly about Rashford on TV made me think he's speaking with too much confidence about him as if he's already been given the nod. So I think PSG have probably tapped him up. Here's a chance for Arsenal. Left-hand side. Good ball by El Neni. Reece Nelson, one-on-one with the defender. Cuts inside him. Does well. Fabio Vieira puts it just wide. Good move that by Arsenal. Would have liked to have seen Vieira hit the target there. Good play by Nelson. Steps inside the defender very easily there. And I think Vieira should hit the target. I think he should have done a little bit better there. Pepe might not be sold. Yeah, I mean, who's going to buy him? I don't know how his loan spell is going. Nicholas said, Big C, it's all well and good winning these friendlies. We have to carry this onto West Ham. Yep, 100%. I think we'll beat West Ham. I do. I think we'll beat them. Vegas Gunner said, what do you think will happen with Pepe and Mari? It's not a certainty they'll be sold. I think both will be. I think Pepe's got a year left in the summer, so if you don't sell him this summer, your £72 million signing is going on a free transfer, which is just absolutely horrendous. Surely we can get even a 10 million for him or something. But I don't know how good the loan spell's going, so I honestly don't even think we'll get 15 million for Pepe, honestly. Unless he's ripping it up on loan, I think you're getting 10, 12 million for him. Because his wages are high as well. He's on 130 a week. Pablo Mari, I mean, is he going to want to stay in Italy after what happened to him? That's the problem. But he's got no future at Arsenal. Bad news for Chelsea. Armando Broja will be out for the rest of the season. He needs surgery after ACL injury. Been told he hopes to be ready for the start of next season. That's devastating for him. I'm pretty sure he signed a new 5-year deal in the summer as well. Ancelotti is informed Brazil intends to end this season with Real Madrid and accept their offer in 2023. Jeez, Ancelotti to Brazil, you know. Big Carlo. Carlo's a bad man. That's what you call an iconic manager. See, this is what I'm talking about, England. England, you know what I mean? You can't. Brazil said, what? We got these players. You man want to stick with Southgate. Carlo Ancelotti, bro. You know what I mean? Stop messing around, England. Get a proper manager. Don Carlo to Brazil. I respect it. Monza has an obligation to buy if they do not get relegated. Fair enough. Let's have a look at the Serie A table. Here's Reece Nelson in the box. Passes blocked. Game's gone a bit quiet, I can't lie. Not too much happening. Let's have a look at the Serie A table. Are Monza staying up? They've got an obligation to buy if they stay in the division. Where are Monza? Monza are... Yeah, they are 9 points clear of relegation. They're just below mid-table, so get your money out. Get Pablo Mari to Monza, but it's is he going to want to stay there? That's the only other thing. Sambi ball in second half. Maybe I'm doing him a disservice. Every time I look, not much is happening. Getting a foreign manager for England is an awful idea. Brazil, France, Argentina would never have a foreign manager. You're saying this 20 seconds after we just announced that Carlo Ancelotti is set to take the Brazil job. So, and listen, I always say this, you can't, if you start hiring managers because they're English, you're not necessarily appointing the best person for the job. I don't know why. I don't agree with it. If England had a bunch of great managers, then cool. I would say try and get an English manager first. But who are you going to appoint? Which English manager are you appointing? Here come Arsenal. Vieira, crosses blocked. Lays it off, headed away. I mean, Steven Gerrard. Yeah, of course. Steven Gerrard, you know. I mean, come on, man. Do you see what that guy did at Aston Villa? There ain't no good England manager right now, people, I'm afraid. Eddie Howe, I mean, I'm not sure Eddie Howe leaves Newcastle. Here's Sambi. Gets the ball out wide. Does well there. Wins a free kick. Ref says play on. Martin Odegaard. Finds Kieran Tierney. They've got a lot of players behind the ball, Milan. Move the ball. Move the ball. 2-on-1 here. Sambi whips in back post. Over Eddie's head. Reece Nelson keeps it in. 23 minutes to go. We're obviously going to have this penalty shootout afterwards as well, which is a bit mad. Give it to Big Sam till the end of the season, people. Give it Big Sam. Scott Parker, according to Saeed. Got to be trolling. Get Pep in next summer. Pep's on a 2-year deal, isn't he? I just don't think he would take it. If he don't leave, he's a disgrace. I think Southgate might quit. I got to be honest. I think he might quit. Did you know a foreign manager has never won a World Cup? Wow, is that true? I take it all back. Give it Big Sam till the end of the season. Oh, dear me. Listen, the records are there to be broken, man. Brio said, Arsenal transfer market is like online shopping, knowing we might have to empty your basket. Oh, man. It's mad, isn't it, when you do that? You're like, I like that. Put it in the basket, then don't buy it. South London's finally said, it may not be a problem now, but just like Liverpool, Big C, we will need a midfield revamp. Yeah, because you got to look at Xhaka and Partey are in their 30s, right? And you can't play Xhaka every single game without giving him any kind of rest. And Thomas Partey, you know, he's been injury prone in the past. So if we get, what you got to look at, if we get in the Champions League next year, the level of rotation has to be totally different. This ain't like Europa League where you can go, oh, we got a European game midweek against, you know, Dundalk, and we can play 6 young players and our fringe players. You might be playing Real Madrid in the Bernabeu. You can't bring in Sambi for games like that. So it's different. The level of the squad will have to go up a lot. Here's Martin Odegaard, does well. Gets the ball out wide. Tierney clips it to the back post. Not a bad ball, that. Cross back in. It's gone very scrappy, this game. Really scrappy. Arsenal still lead 2-0. Missing piece of Big C is financial fair play. I mean, C is still financial fair. Oh, I hear you. I hear you. You got to count them pennies, man. Dundalk always holding smoke. Sorry, Connor. It's the quickest one to turn to. And Ketia and Tomori clash heads. Or did he clash heads? Eddie just falls over. I don't know what happened there. Maldini's in the stand as well. The legend. Maldini. A lot of big names there. I think Tomori's bust his lip. Omid said Rafael Leao is an option for Real Madrid. He dreams of following in Ronaldo's footsteps. Yeah, we're live tonight, people. We are live tonight. I'm gonna put that on public now, actually. Argentina against Croatia. We're live, 6:45, people. Big game. Messi against Modric. Which one of the OGs makes the final? Without sounding biased, I think for viewing purposes, I want to see Messi make that final, man. I can't lie. I think France-Argentina would be the exciting final. Sheriff said, hey, Big C, quality content as usual. Which 3 players would you sign in January if you were in charge of Arsenal to help us push City for the league? It's a very good question. I'd like a striker. We'd have to sign a striker. Strikers, as I said, the list the other day, I'm saying, I think Memphis Depay would make a lot of sense because I think he plays very similar to Gabriel Jesus. And he'd be cheap. But Barcelona saying they might not want to sell him. So that's a difficult one. Other strikers are going to be expensive. I would like us to get a target man. You know, I'd like somebody like a Vlahovic or someone like that, but he's got problems at the moment off the pitch, and Juventus probably wouldn't want to sell him. I'd like a winger. Yeah, Ivan Toney's another one. If that ban isn't genuine, I'd take him as well. In midfield, I'd probably go for... I think we need a DM. but there aren't many good DMs. I like that Amrabat, who we've seen in the World Cup. I like Ruben Neves as a ball-playing, deep-lying playmaker. Milinkovic-Savic, someone like that, but they'd be expensive. And then winger, Zaha, Mudryk, Rashford, somebody like that to out wide, you know. So I'm giving you a few options there, but get a decent striker, decent winger, and a decent centre mid, but they're going to be expensive. Real Madrid had a lot of faith in Endrick. They studied Haaland's situation at Man City carefully and decided to choose Endrick instead of pursuing Haaland in the future. Neves has played centre-back for Wolves too. Yeah, nah, but he's too small to play centre-back. He ain't going to play centre-back, but he's a baller. They're having a drink break at the moment. 18 minutes to go in this game, and then we'll have this penalty shootout they do after. Enzo Fernandez as well. Apologies. Definitely somebody that I would like to see us go for, but it looks like a lot of Real Madrid and that being linked with him. Nathan said Mbappe, Tchouameni, and Benzema. There we go. Football Manager cheat code, you know, we'll get them. My ideal striker, honestly, if you said to me, pick the striker you could sign in January that's realistic, one that you think would leave his club that you could afford, I would sign Ivan Toney. I think he's a very good striker, got a lot to prove, he's strong, and I like him, and he's Premier League proven. The problem is he's got this betting thing hanging over him, but surely you could speak to the lawyers and find out if he's going to get banned or not. Marquinhos comes on for Arsenal. I think Vieira came off. I didn't actually see it. But yeah, if Toney gets banned, then it's a no-go. Osimhen, I don't see Napoli selling him. I think they're top of the league. Yeah, they're top of the league. And they're 8 points clear at the top as well. I just don't think... It wouldn't make no sense for Napoli to sell him. He'd cost 80-odd million, at least. Ndika, CDM, get Holding gone. Cedric Murray and thoughts on Pepe. We need depth. Pepe, his career at Arsenal's done, I think. I think they'll get rid of him in the summer. Smokey said we're looking at Cunha. Apparently he's decent. He's not bad, but he's more. He strikes me more as an attacking midfielder than an actual striker. That's my only problem. But yeah, for me, if I was picking, striker would be Ivan Toney. He'd leave Brentford. He's physical, wins headers, holds the ball up, link-up play. He's an elite penalty taker as well, and he'd have a point to prove. But if this betting scandal kicks in, he could have a long ban. Ziggy, thank you for the super chat, said, Big C, you want a target man sign Vigors from Burnley. I mean, he destroyed Argentina the other day. But he's on loan. He's on loan in Turkey anyway from Burnley, so we couldn't sign him even if we wanted to. A lot of people saying Giroud. Listen, Giroud signing a new contract at AC Milan. Apparently they're in advanced negotiations about a new deal. So yeah, I don't see Giroud ever coming to Arsenal. Ferran Torres, he's not bad. He's not bad. If we got him, I would make it seem like it was a positive signing. I'm just not overly keen on him. Dusan scored 40 plus in a season, let's not forget. I just think Juventus, they spent big money on him. I know they're in financial difficulty. I don't think they would sell him. Here come Milan on the ball. 15 minutes to go. Ball out wide. Milan on the attack. I did predict 2-0, so let's hope. In fact, let's hope we add to it. But it'd be nice to keep a clean sheet. Ball whipped in. Cleared by Gabriel. He's had a good game. Nathan said I'd take Mitrovic next summer. He's improved a lot, Mitrovic. He really has. And he looked solid in the World Cup as well when he played. Milan give the ball away there. Poor pass. According to Argentinian media, Liverpool have reached a transfer pre-agreement with Enzo Fernandez. Do not want to be reading that. Because I would like to have seen him come to Arsenal, but Liverpool look like they're about to start flexing in the market, man. They're going to spend. They're going to start spending big. And he would be a great signing for them. But we'll see. Maybe they're signing him because they're not getting Bellingham. If they get both, then wow. But like people are saying, they need a whole midfield revamp, and so do we. He's 21 as well. Pep and Arteta contract end the same time. Should we be worried? What are you saying? Arteta goes to Man City. Listen, if Arteta achieves something great at Arsenal, i.e. wins the Premier League, and Pep leaves in 2 years, Arteta's going to be on their list. There's no doubt about it, because he's been at the club. They know him well. So we'll have to see. Corner to Milan. Tonali to take it. The skipper. Oh, it's a free kick, actually. Whipped in swing, a goal for Milan. Header, free header. Terrible defending. And it's Tomori, former Chelsea player, with the header. Terrible defending by Arsenal, that. Just as I start praising them, we concede a goal. Completely unmarked. He's literally 6 yards out. I think they're doing zonal marking. That's awful defending. Honestly, zonal marking needs banning from football. It's one of the worst things they ever brought into the game. It makes no sense. You stand in an area, they run towards you. Naturally, they're going to be able to jump higher than you because they're running. It's terrible defending. Awful, awful defending that. 2-1, AC Milan get a goal back. And we can't be defending like that in the Premier League. Former Chelsea player. And Milan could be in again here, by the way. Ball over the top. He's got support. If he passes it, he doesn't. Still a chance. And Arsenal managed to retain it. They had another attack there. Gabriel is down on the floor, people. Ah, dear. This better not be anything bad. Doesn't look like he's moving much either, which is always a worry. He's holding his knee by the look of it. Oh, no. He looks like he's in pain. What happened? I am seeing the replay. I mean, does he take a hit on his leg from the striker, which would be bruising? Or is he twisted and done something? That doesn't look good. Trust me, zonal marking should be banned. I'm telling you, I'm not even exaggerating. It's the worst. Why they ever brought that into football, I'll never know. Surely nothing's more simple than it's a corner, mark a player, stay as tight as you can to him and try and win the header. Zonal marking. And then what happens when your zone is here and my zone is here, and the ball goes in between, and you're not sure whether, was that my zone or was that your zone? And then often the player gets left unmarked. It's terrible. They need to get rid of it. Just go man-to-man marking. It's much more simple. Gabriel's getting treatment. I don't know what the situation is. Is this a collision, or is it a twist? He's back up. He's limping. He looks all right. I reckon he's took a bang. Tierney's down as well. Tierney just felt left out. Tierney said, what? Gabriel's injured. Oh, my ankle's gone. My ankle, Scotland. I am Brew. My ankle's gone, Mikel. he just felt left out, man. I'm telling you. Or is it Holding? People saying it's Holding. After I just put on an accent and then now it's Rob Holding. What's going on here? 10 minutes to go until penalties. Tierney, man like Tierney, you know. Tierney showing support, true captain. Man said, listen, mate, I ain't going to leave you injured by yourself. I'm going as well. We got 11 minutes to go here, people, before this penalty shootout that they do for the extra point. People asking about Cody Gakpo. PSV owner confirming that if they get an offer of around 50 million, they're willing to let him go. Listen, having watched him the other day against Argentina, I'll let him go somewhere else. He don't look like a 50 million pound winger to me, but that's just my opinion. I said I'm unfollowing after that slandering of my country. I thought the accent was tremendous. I'm not gonna lie, but hey, it is what it is. Ball whipped in for Milan. Hein collects it. I always said his wife won't let him buy a Canada Goose coat. That's big money, man. What are they, about £1,000? Inflation, man. downgrade it. You might have to get a Nike jacket instead. It's too warm for Tierney. Yeah, Tierney's probably can't cope with the heat over there. You know, he likes the cold weather. Can Arsenal hang on? 8 minutes to go. Ten Hag I think Ten Hag will sign Gakpo. Watch Arsenal sign Gakpo. Curtis saying I always rated him. 100%. If we sign him, he's a baller. If we don't sign him, I didn't want him. Arsenal on the attack. Attack slowed down there. Not a lot happening. 800 for a Canada Goose. 1K for the Moncler. Anas said, who's the first player we can replace in our current 11 that raises the team level? Oh, that's a good question. I think there are players in our team that can be upgraded. Some of them would be controversial if I was to say. I still deep down think Aaron Ramsdale can be upgraded if you're talking about Champions League. But there's no desperate need to upgrade him. I would say Granit. Even though Granit's having a very good season, I still think a top quality centre midfielder who can get forward and score goals would look sufficiently better than him, in my opinion. He is 29 as well. So, yeah, I think Xhaka would be the one. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, at the moment, Tomiyasu can't get in the team because of Ben White. If you look at the best right-backs in the world, I'm not saying we need to sign one of the best right-backs in the world, but we still don't have a right-back that is great going forward and defending, I would say. We've got a very good defender at right-back in Ben White or in Tomiyasu. Where you look at the very best right-backs in the world right now, Hakimi, Reece James, Kyle Walker, Trent on his day, they can all attack very good. You know, they get a lot of assists. So, yeah, maybe right back as well. You know, maybe. Maddison over Odegaard. I mean, I think they love Odegaard. They absolutely love him here. There are better number 10s than him, but they would be expensive. Bellingham is the dream. I mean, imagine Bellingham and Partey in midfield. Al-Kawadi said Ramsdale is rubbish. I'm sorry. Or are you saying what I'm saying? Listen, again, I'm looking at Ramsdale. Ramsdale is a good keeper. Don't get me wrong. Good goalkeeper. But there's a big gap between him and people like Alisson. You know, if we're talking about the best goalkeepers in the league, I'd say he's still a level below that. But again, it's very difficult. I don't think there's any... I wouldn't say there's any distinct need to replace Aaron Ramsdale. You know, we don't really need to spend money in that area. Retro said, would you have Sancho at Arsenal? Would I have Sancho at Arsenal? He's on 300 grand a week. I wouldn't. The wages are too big, and part of me thinks it is Man United tax why Sancho is struggling. But at the same time, it could be Premier League tax, and he just can't handle this level. So yeah, man. People saying Gabriel is a bit suspect at centre back. He has their moments. I think he's a good centre back, but again, he could be upgraded. But you know, if you went through the whole Arsenal team, I suppose you could create an argument for a lot of players. You know, we've just signed Gabriel Jesus, who's been brilliant, but you could create an argument and say, well, Jesus don't score enough. You know, you can easily create that argument for most players. So I would say Xhaka. Potentially a right back, you know, maybe Gabriel, maybe a goalkeeper if I was really forcing the issue. He has that David Luiz madness in him. He does. He'll kick you for no reason, Gabriel, and get sent off. Ramsdale is 24 years old. Listen, yeah, he's still got loads of time. So I'm not writing him off. I'm just saying if I was really, you know, looking at could we upgrade a level. The good thing about Gabriel is that Gabriel scores goals, you know, 5 goals from centre-back last season. I think he's got 4 or 5 already, you know. That's something that he is very good at. Make sure you like the video. 2,000 of you in the chat. Great support for a friendly. Really appreciate it. We should be easily getting 1,500 likes, people. Should be light work. We have got 4 minutes to go in this game, and then this penalty shootout that they do at the end of this competition for the extra point. But if Arsenal win this game, they've won the tournament anyway, even if they lose the penalty shootout. Gabriel Jesus could be upgraded. Listen, like I said, you could go through the whole squad. I think, for me, Saliba, Partey, Saka, Martinelli, those are probably the 4 where I would say I wouldn't even consider upgrading them. Because to upgrade those 4, you're going to have to spend an absolute fortune. So those 4 for me, I wouldn't even look at replacing them because their potential's so high and they're so good. Replacement will be so expensive. Them 4, you don't go anywhere near them. If we were really delving deep into it, you could upgrade Ramsdale. You could upgrade Tomiyasu, Ben White as right backs and get a better attacking right back. You could upgrade Xhaka. You could probably upgrade at left back possibly as well, if we're being totally honest. But we don't need to, we don't need to. And like I said, there's also, you could even debate that Jesus needs more competition because as good as he's been, 10 games without a goal is a worry. But yeah, we don't need to really worry. SN said Nicolas Pepe returns next season. What you doing? I don't think Pepe plays another game for Arsenal. I don't see him playing for Arsenal ever again. I don't think he gets on with the manager. I don't think he likes the way he trains. I don't think they get on well. I think it wouldn't even surprise me if he ends up on loan for another year and then just leaves for nothing. I just don't see it. But I would like to think that we could get some money for him. Pay 72 million for someone. You expect to recoup something out of the deal. Let me have a look at Pepe, what he's producing this season. The game's gone slow here, people. Milan on the ball. 3 minutes to go. Nicolas Pepe's stats this season. 4 goals in 12 games. No assists. I mean, it's all right. But it ain't going to get you big money for him. He ain't ripping the place apart. So, Waneri comes on. 15 years of age coming on for Arsenal. He's coming on for Odegaard, and Matt Smith's coming on as well. Any Morocco players you would take? I mean, I take Hakimi. I take Amrabat as well. They had a guy the other day in defence. I forget his name. The guy who was going mad when he was tackling people. He's a beast as well. Hines sent him for... Hey, Hines had another very good game. Pepe scammed us, says Brett. We scammed ourselves, though. We scammed ourselves. We wanted Zaha. We didn't want to pay the money. And we done ourselves. They say you buy cheap, you buy twice. And although it wasn't cheap, we bought expensive, but still got done. But I always say, if you're spending that kind of money, 70, 80 million pound, you should be signing a world beater. Somebody that is either world class or you're like, he's special. There's no doubt he's going to become a top player. Where with Pepe, he'd had one good season in the French league. He hadn't even played in the Europa League. So that deal always had a massive risk attached to it. Would you swap Saka for Vinicius Jr.? I mean, listen, Vinicius is better than Saka. But I'm sticking by Saka. I don't care. I'm sticking by him. He's Premier League proven. There's no guarantees Vinicius does well in the Premier League. I'm slightly capping because Vinny is better. But I'm sticking with Saka. I'm not changing him. Sky's the limit for Saka, and he knows the Prem, and there's no adjustment. Vinicius could come to the Prem and just get kicked all over the place and not like it. It's happened. It's happened. A lot of these guys don't want to play in the Premier League because they don't like that intensity. They don't like the weather. They don't like the fact that you play over Christmas. It's not just about talent. It's about way more than that. So Saka's one of our own, man. Let's stick by him. You've seen it against France the other day. He was England's best player. I'm a big fan of Vinicius, but he hasn't played that great for Brazil in this tournament. And I tipped him to have a big World Cup. I think he's been pretty average. So it's a lot easier when you play for Real Madrid to look good. Let's just say it that way. And like you said, Vinny plays on the left and Saka's on the right. I've always said Pepe was a £17 million player. Edu just had a bad phone line. Man thought they said 70 million. They said 17. Wouldn't surprise us. No wonder Raul left with the brown envelopes. 7 minutes added on in this game, people. We're already 2 minutes in, so 5 minutes left. Great numbers. Great. Over 2,000 of you tuned in for a friendly. Brilliant support. There is a penalty shootout at the end, which is a bit pointless, but they do it for this tournament. You get an extra point if you win it, but Arsenal have already won the tournament if they win this game anyway. Omid said, Big C, I disagree. As a Madrid fan, Saka is a better footballer than Vinicius. Vinicius is frustrating, makes stupid decisions on the ball, and misses a lot of chances. Even Rodrigo is better than Vinicius. Wow. I mean, you're a Madrid fan. I don't watch them every week. I probably see the highlight reel. And his highlights make him look unbelievable. He's electric. You know, that goal he scored in the Champions League against Man City. But maybe he is inconsistent. He had a good season last year. But listen, you watch Madrid on a regular basis, so I'm sure you know more about him. But I've heard a lot of people saying that he's very frustrating. But I wouldn't say that Rodrigo is better than him from what I've seen. Man saying it's a timeout. Hein has been good. Hein has been good. Everyone's saying timeout. They're not happy. I personally rate Vinicius, but I can understand the frustration. Watching him for Brazil, he was a bit frustrating. But I still think he's a top player. He got great numbers last season as well. You can't just dismiss those numbers. I mean, last season for Madrid, 17 goals, 10 assists. That's just in the league. You know, that's and 4 goals in 6 Champions League games. There's no way on earth that I can put Saka and Rodrigo ahead of him until they do things like that. I can't diss Vinicius, man. He's produced, won the Champions League, scored the winner in the Champions League final. There's no way I can put Rodrigo and Saka ahead of him, even though I love Saka. He's one of our own. Man said he should hold 180 seconds for that. Omid came in with all kinds of controversy. Man said, watch Vinny for 90 minutes. You'll never debate it again. I've watched him, bro. I've watched him. Omid, they're calling for 90 seconds out. Vinny's a baller, man. But people saying he's a highlights merchant. Pepe has 16 goals in 80 appearances for Arsenal. That's good. Has he ever been given a run of games under Arteta? Probably not, but we'll never see it anyway, will we? 3 minutes to go in this. Milan on the ball. They're searching for an equaliser. An equaliser actually stops us possibly from winning the tournament unless we win the penalty shootout. Ball whipped in, flicked on, goes out for a goal kick. 2 minutes to go. Hines had another very good game. Smokey, thank you for the super chat. Big C, we can only bring a maximum of 2 players anyway because we have a 23-man squad. Prem rules only allow 25. What 2 would you bring in? We've got to bring the midfielder in for me. The engine room is vital. And if Partey gets injured, our midfield is bang average. Even though Xhaka's having a good season, what, Xhaka and El Neni or Xhaka and Lokonga, that ain't getting you no title challenge. So we desperately need the midfielder. And then we need a striker. We need a winger as well, but I feel like we need the striker more now because if he's out for 3 months, you can't play Eddie for 3 months. So we've either got to get a winger that can play up front or sign a winger and move Martinelli central. So yeah, we need a winger or a striker and a centre mid, 100%. Like I said, I'd love to sign Ivan Toney, but I think he's going to get banned. So I don't think we can do that. I'd take Memphis Depay. I got to be honest. I think he's similar in style to Gabriel Jesus. Maybe doesn't work quite as hard, but somebody like I want somebody that can come in and impact this team straight away. I don't want to sign somebody that takes 6 months to adjust to the league. It'll be too late. Man City will win the league by then in that adjustment period. Long ball for Milan. And Rob Holding kicks out for a throw-in. Neil, you know I'd take Zaha all day long, especially when you can get him for 20-odd million. Yeah, Eric, Argentina v Croatia watch along 6:45 tonight. That's going to be epic. Messi v Modric, two OGs of the game, man. Which one's going to make the World Cup final? I think Argentina personally, but Croatia just one of them teams you can never write off. Chuckle Brothers will get you fifth. Honestly, if we lost Thomas Partey now for 2-3 months, I don't even think we'd get top four, because I don't think that midfield, I don't think that takes you anywhere. I don't think it takes you anywhere. Nikki said, hey, Curtis, hey, chat. I like Memphis Depay. I think we waited too long. Could have gotten him in the summer. Full-time whistle goes, people. Full-time whistle goes. Arsenal have won. We've won it, people. We've won the Dubai Super Cup. It's an epic day in my life that I never thought I would see. We've won a trophy that we just, made a couple of months ago, but they all count, people. Yeah, there you go. We're the mid-season and the pre-season kings at the moment. We win all the trophies that don't count for much, but it is what it is. Let's see how this penalty shootout goes. Hine made himself a bit of a hero the other day. Saved 4 penalties in a row. We are the champions, my friend. Do. Listen, we're getting ready for it. Oh, yeah. Odegaard's getting ready for when we win the Prem, man. Show them armpits, my friend. You got to show the armpits. Only trophy winners lift armpits. You've never seen Harry Kane's armpits because, well, you might have seen it actually as he lifted them up and smashed the ball over the crossbar. But, that man ain't lifted no trophies. Congratulations, Arsenal. We'll take it. We'll take it. Nice trip to Dubai, people. Penalty shootout about to get underway. Arsenal have made loads of subs, so I don't even know who's on the pitch. Saka or Zaha? Come on, obviously Saka. But I take them both. Odegaard came off, so he won't take one. I don't know who's actually on the pitch. Noel says yes. We got the trophy. Champions of Dubai. Champions of Dubai. You'll never sing that. That's got to be the tweet, ain't it? Champions of Dubai. You'll never sing that. That's decent. Penalty shootout about to kick off. Can Hine make himself a hero again? And let's see who takes these penalties. A lot less nerve-wracking than the penalty shootout in the World Cup the other day. We are so shameless. You got to do it, man. You got to do it. I threw a grenade out there for Twitter. They'll go crazy. Ahmed said, as an Arsenal fan, it pains me to see Harry Kane without a professional trophy in his career. If he leaves Tottenham, we will support him. Nah, he's too ingrained in Tottenham now. Even if he left, he's still too Spursy for me. And he lied in the interview and said he don't support Arsenal. So yeah, you reap what you sow, Mr. Kane. You reap what you sow. He should have just said, you know what, I don't really want to talk about it. When they said, are you an Arsenal fan? I get it. If he's an Arsenal fan, he can't come out in an interview playing for Tottenham saying I'm a massive gooner. But he could have said, I don't really support anyone. The fact he was like, no, I was forced to support Arsenal as a kid, and now I'm a Tottenham fan. I was like, bro, stop capping. You ain't no Tottenham fan. There's no reason for you to change from Arsenal to Tottenham. And that's the reason he hasn't won a trophy in his whole career. So yeah, there ain't no support for Kane, I'm afraid. Here we go anyway, people. Penalty shootout. Cedric Suarez with the first penalty for Arsenal. We get an extra point. Yeah, definitely deserves 3 minutes. That was he tried to be nice. I respect it, but here we go. First penalty for Arsenal. Cedric Suarez. Met him in the petrol station a few weeks ago, didn't I? And show Harry Kane how to take a penalty. Go on, lad. Come on, get on with it, ref. How long are we waiting? Got things to do here. Cedric slots it in straight down the middle. Portugal's finest. Cedric Suarez slots it straight down the middle. 1-0 to the Gunners. Can we get the extra point? Which makes no difference because we've already won the tournament, but I suppose it's good psychologically for Hine if he makes a few saves. Third choice goalkeeper. I don't know who this is for Milan. Hines saved 4 penalties out of 5 last time. Man said there ain't no support for Kane. I'm like, nah, man, bung Kane. Kane's head could be gone for the rest of the season for Tottenham. We play Tottenham 15th of January, man. I'm hoping he's still stressed out about that penalty. Penalty for Milan. Don't know who this is. I think he's left-footed. Against Hine. He saved 4 penalties out of 5 last time. Come on, Hine. Heinz beans. Heinz ketchup. Heinz mayo. Here we go. Left-footed run up. Oh, what a penalty that is. Hine went the right way. He puts it top corner. Great penalty that, by the way. Manuel Heine. I think Neuer's out all season as well, from what I heard. That is a great penalty. You don't save that. Was that Benazza? I didn't even know it was... Oh, it was. Former Arsenal player. I didn't even know he was on the bench for them. Great penalty that, by the way. Top bins. Second penalty for Arsenal. Who is this? This Marquinhos? I can't even see who this is. I think it's Marquinhos. It looks like him, I believe. That was a great penalty by... Here's a second penalty. Scores. Or was it Gabriel? It was Gabriel. Jeez, Gabriel showing Kane how to take penalties, man. Does the little Neymar, little quick steps. Sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Good penalty, Gabby. Very good penalty. That's calm, that. I know. I couldn't see it. I'm watching it on the phone, you see. That's why. Small screen. Couldn't tell who was who. The stadium looks a lot busier than the game the other day. I reckon a lot of fans have flown over from Qatar. A lot of Arsenal fans that were probably in Qatar, they've flown straight over. Second penalty for Milan. Come on, Hine, lad. Saved by Hine. Heinz ketchup. Heinz beans. Great save. What a guy this guy is, man. Heinz is at it again, people. Brahim Diaz, who we were talking about at half-time, saying how highly we rate him, and Arteta had him at Man City, misses the penalty. Man like Hine, you know. Man like Heinz. It's a poor penalty, to be fair. He goes the same way, and it's quite easy for him. Heinsberg, who takes penalty number 3 for Arsenal. It is Marquinhos this time. Come on, Marquinhos. He scored his last one in the game against Lyon to put Arsenal 3-1 up. Marquinhos, steady run up, scores. Great penalty. Goalkeeper goes the right way. I tell you what, if we ever get to a penalty shootout in the FA Cup or anything, hopefully the Champions League, I hope they take penalties like they have in this one. Yeah, Hein, man. And said, the Champions League, sponsored by Heineken. These are the champions. Heinz, you know, man like Heinz. Come on, Heine, lad. Let's save another one. Let's get this over with. I've seen enough. Put some respect on his name. Hein, not Heinz. No, man, we had the Heinz, man. That's the sauce. You know what I mean? We have to add the sauce to him. This is... Is this Tonali, I believe? He's got the armband on. I'm sure this is Tonali. Arsenal were linked with him. Here's Tonali. Steady run up. Oh, I nearly said saved. He scored it. To be fair, that is a brilliant penalty. Keeper went the right way as well. Tonali's a good player. I like this guy. Captain, strong, good on the ball. It's a great penalty. I think he signed a new contract at Milan, so we ain't getting him. Hein is from Estonia. He's not English. Here's Mohamed El Neni, the best Egyptian in the Premier League. Don't worry about Mo Salah. Mo El Neni, people. I'm capping, of course. But here's Mo El Neni. Nice and calm. Shirt's undone and everything. Come on, Mo. Slot this in. Oh, he's doing a little Neymar run-up as well. That's a great penalty. Neymar would be proud of that himself. Mo El Neni. El Messi. Big him up, man. Big him up. Great penalty. Opens up the body. You don't save them. And Milan have to score this. Otherwise, they've lost. Arsenal should win this now, surely. Here we go. Who's taking it? I tell you what, there's a lot of star names in the crowd. Anelka's there, Maldini's there, Sol Campbell's there, Zlatan's there. It's a lot of big players. Santi Cazorla's there. Here we go, Hein, to make himself a hero again. Someone just chip it down the middle now, surely. Little Panenka. Here come AC Milan. If Hein saves it, Arsenal have won. Here we go, AC Milan. He's Panenka'd it. Oh, my days. I called it. What a penalty, by the way. Do you know what? I respect it. I don't care what level you're at. I respect that. Man said to Hein, listen, just relax yourself a little bit, yeah? No sauce on this dinner. Just chips it down the middle. What a penalty that is. Whew. Worst thing is, Hein was trying to get up to get the ball. Just leave it. Just let it go. Here we go. Arsenal to win. Matt Smith, young player. If he scores this, Arsenal are... Well, no, we're already Dubai Super Cup winners, people. We're already champions of Dubai. You'll never sing that. You'll never sing that. Here's Matt Smith. He's been on loan, I believe. If he scores this, then Arsenal win the penalty shootout as well. Matty Smith. And he's missed it. It's an absolute disgrace. What are you doing, Smithy? More like Smithers out of The Simpsons. Terrible penalty, Matt Smith. You've ruined it, Matt. It's an awful penalty as well. The guy's just Panenka'd our goalkeeper. And you're doing that. Flat Smith. That was a flat penalty for sure. Terrible penalty. Who needs the World Cup, people? We'll skip the World Cup. This is where the action is, right here in Dubai. Now you've given them a chance to get back. Man said Matt Spliff. Champions of Dubai reside in London. If Milan score, we go to sudden death now. You've ruined it, Smithy. Come on, Hein. Make yourself a hero. Heinz beans on toast. Heinz beans on toast. Yeah! He's missed it. Terrible penalty. And Arsenal have won the penalty shootout. Epic scenes in Dubai, people. Absolute epic scenes in Dubai. Forget going on holiday. That's where the action's at, people. In that stadium. Arsenal are the champions. We are the champions, my friend. Do, and we'll. Listen, champions of Dubai. You'll never sing that. You'll never sing that. You'll never. Effectively, we've won a treble of some sort. Champions of Dubai, champions of Florida, and Emirates Cup champions. We're collecting, people. Armpits are on show. And it is what it is, people. So, listen. ZZ said, Dubai Invincibles, big up with your super chat. Utabiya Guna. Right, people, I'm out of here because I'm back on in less than 2 hours with the Argentina-Croatia game. That is going to be absolute scenes one way or another. Thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out as we win the Dubai Super Cup. Another trophy in the cabinet. We're shameless with it, people. Arsenal against Juventus this Saturday. Hit the like on the way out, and I'll see you at 6:45 for the World Cup semi-final. Bless!